Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fan Cams here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. After the Blues get the job done in round 13 against the Bombers, 11 goals, 12, 78 to 11 goals, 4, 70 in what I would describe as a pretty painful win, excruciatingly painful at times. Flirted with danger multiple times. A typical Carlton win of recent times is the way I experienced that. It was a very interesting night. And yeah, I'm very relieved not to be doing this show after a bad loss. I think any loss would have been a bad loss. It wasn't a great win, but it was a win nonetheless. And I don't think it means anything other than a win on Sunday, the 8th of June, 2025. And we now sit at 5 wins, 7 losses on the season. And who knows what's going to happen in the future. But all we have is the now. So this is the Fan Cams. If you would like to join the Fan Cams, please feel free to call in and share your thoughts on the game. Let's unpack a bit about what you saw tonight. Lots of storylines, lots of individuals who performed well, lots of individuals who did not perform well, who I'm sure are going to get a chat about. And yeah, we can talk about all the angles that you have from the game. We will start with Riley, who's calling from the UK.
Hey! Look, as bad as the game petered out, beating that mob just feels a little bit extra, I reckon.
I mean, you can't lose to Essendon.
No, you can't.
You cannot, no matter what.
You cannot lose to Essendon. Look, I thought it was a typical Carlton performance in 2025. Started the game really well, composed. The game petered out. Pressure went on a little bit. Did enough to win the game. If you're going to take anything out of it, I thought a couple of the youngsters played okay. But it was a game we couldn't lose. We didn't lose. So, move forward.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, we pretty much set it up with the first quarter, got the scoreboard pressure on early, and then there's just something about this team and this group. They seem to find a way that when they've really dominated a side in a period of a game, they seem to just not want to continue on with it. And they just seem to want to try and, I don't know, manage it or not play with the same desperation. But I don't know, man. Like, main thing is, like you said, we can't have been sitting here after a loss. It would have been devastating.
Look, and I think the optimist in me says that builds belief because of where they've come from. And it's almost a case of when you're in that position, is it a case of they don't want to or they don't know how to continue it on? And that's probably my eternal question. But look, I think there were a couple of good performances tonight. I think Jack Silvani was fantastic out back. I thought the back six were pretty solid. Hudson O'Keefe, first gamer. If you get a day's notice, I thought he performed okay. And you hold on. And at the end of the day, it's a rivalry game. And rivalry games are one of those things that it doesn't matter whether you're first on the ladder against second or first or 18th. They're typically close. Yeah. We got the job done.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
Where does that take us? Who knows? But it's we're going to enjoy this tonight. I think that, I certainly thought in the first half they looked fresher. There was a little bit more composure. Where that carried on or not is another story. But, it was certainly a much sharper, more pressurised performance from the side early, which is good signs.
Yeah. Well, I took note of something which I thought was interesting, right? So in the first quarter, we kicked 6 goals from 13 entries, which, I mean, a lot of the talk around Carlton has been around our efficiency going inside 50. No surprise there. So 6 goals for 13 inside 50s, right? At 3-quarter time, we had kicked 9 goals, so 3 more from 41 entries. So what's that? 28 more. So 3 goals from 28 entries after 6 goals from 13. And I don't know what that is. I don't know why the efficiency drops off the way it does. And, there's been talk around, it's the game style, it's laborious. I just can't cop that. Every team's playing the hardest sport in the world. Every team is like not playing a less laborious game than what we are. Like it's a hard game to play.
Yeah.
So I just think it's a cop out to say that, the way that we play means that we're more fatigued. Like, I don't think we played so desperately intense in the first half that the boys were cooked in the second half. I just don't see that.
I fully agree with it. It's one of those people that come after the coaching staff and, Voss specifically. It's like, I don't think that's a valid excuse, because if you start games well, in my opinion, that means you prepared for the matchup pretty well, right? If that makes sense. And then obviously there's adjustments in game. So I think it's probably a general lack of composure from the players, in my opinion. I think there's probably a lack, getting their heads a little bit, or they get a blood rush. That happens quite often. And even in 2023, because we've been comparing this year to 2023, the same thing was sort of happening. Even when we were on the run, we probably, there were some games we should have won by more. But look, we got the job done. Maybe that builds a little bit of belief in what we're doing, because there's elements of what we're getting right. And I think that's what, as fans, because at the end of the day, we're fans of the football club, that's what we can hope for.
Yeah. Well,
was it a great win? No. Do we hope it can build on something? Maybe. It's a start. It's a start.
It's a win on this Sunday, the 8th of June, and we will just, I guess, move on from it.
Yeah. Move on. Beat Essendon. Looked like a decent atmosphere. To be fair, watching the game from London, it looked like it was a very much, even though we've been playing poorly, it looked very much like Carlton House. So we're doing our job. I thought it was a bit quiet early, and then in the second half, the crowd activated a bit. I thought the Bombers fans brought the noise, and then I think that helped spur on the Carlton noise. But early days it took a bit to get involved. But I think once we kicked 6 in the first, I mean, that's all that the boys can do from there. And anyway, GBs,
good stuff
on the game. Move forward.
Thanks, Riley. See you, mate. All right, so we go from the UK and now we go over to the US, and we've got Ben in Brooklyn. Hello, mate.
How you going, Terry?
Mate, I'm going a lot better than what I was hoping and thinking that I might have been going tonight.
Yeah, third quarter, huh? Rough.
Dude, I don't know. What did it look like on the screen? Because at the game, I had Richmond memories circulating through my mind.
100%. I mean, the fumbles were there. The missed opportunities, missed kicks. It was, and you just watched the Bombers slowly take the opportunities they were given, and we weren't. So it was my mother-in-law had to get up super early. The game started at 5 this morning, so she's actually gone back to bed. I couldn't bring her on, unfortunately, but one of these days I will get her on. She's been a Carlton Nuffy since birth, and just the insight she brings is fantastic to hear. Talking about how Jay Sauce reminds her of Steven Silvani and Serge occasionally. It's really neat stuff. But I mean, it was not a pretty win, definitely. I'm thrilled we won. I'm thrilled more than anything to see Jesse Motlop doing what I've been wanting to see him do all year.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I was cheering for him the entire time. And, I mean, my hunch, I don't know if this is what you've been thinking, is that they've had him in the Orazio Fantasia role. And, now Orazio's back and they put Motlop up forward and let him roam. And he just looks, he looks so natural there, I don't know.
I think you're onto something, and I think that's the power of what Fantasia brings. I mean, the stat line is not going to read great for most people, the way they look at numbers, but the way he organizes things on the field. And it was amazing to see Jesse find space, and I can't help but think that is linked to having Fantasia in the side. And I mean, look, Jesse was good tonight. That might have been one of his better games for the season. Really, I mean, he needed to take that third shot on goal, and he really needed to just execute that. And so a little bit frustrated I was at the game when he just didn't kick that goal. But I thought all in all, he definitely played in a way that justified his selection.
100%. It was, and it's what I remember seeing him, the way I remember seeing him play in 2023.
Yeah.
When he, I mean, that was the Jesse Motlop I was hoping to see last year and all of this year. And, just like a small forward that we've been crying out for, begging for.
Yeah.
But a lot of good performances. I thought Hudson O'Keefe really, really showed a ton today. Just can't wait to see him develop. Like that was fantastic for a first time. Yeah, and the old guys. I mean, I don't know. Do you think Cripps is carrying an injury? I just can't figure out his game this year so much.
Yeah, I think tonight might have been his worst game for the year. It was weird because I think Merritt was the same for the Bombers. I think they both struggled to impact. I mean, Merritt did lay the 9 tackles, but I don't know. Cripps was nowhere near influential in this game like what we've seen. But on the flip side, I thought Chera was pretty consistent. I thought Walsh was, back to his ways. Blake Acres had one of the most fascinating games, one of the most frustrating games I think I've watched him play. And again, the stats will say 29 touches, but my goodness, some of the things he chose to do on the field tonight had me punching myself, mate.
Yep. Oh yes. It was. I don't know. I'm thrilled we're not at the Sack Voss break glass moment because I still don't think that's going to answer any of these issues. But
yeah,
do have questions about the decision making at times for sure.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I mean, I was a little bummed that Harry didn't make it out, but he just didn't. I don't know. It wasn't like I felt any point that his presence on the field was what we were lacking tonight. Not to take away from him because I love having him as a player. I think he's fantastic. I just, one of the things my mother-in-law said was, she's like, I think Charlie plays better without Harry. And I've been kind of mulling that over, and I'm like, I don't know. I like having both of them. Maybe it's greedy. Maybe that's the problem. But they bring so much.
Well, I mean, we'll see how it all plays out. Still got, what's that? 11 games left. So 5 and 7, my friend. Let's take the W and hopefully we can build off it next week. And
I sure
is that
hope
the Brooklyn Bridge behind you?
No, that's the Williamsburg Bridge. I'm in Williamsburg. Brooklyn Bridge, you might be able to see like way here. Hold on, where is it? Way down there.
Oh yeah. Very nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well,
Beautiful.
mate, thanks very much for calling in.
Great to hear from you. Anytime. Cheers, Terry. Go Blues.
See you, man. How good's that? From the UK to the US. Let's go back to Melbourne. Adrian. You're on mute, bro.
From the UK to the US, back to wherever I am. somewhere in the northern suburbs.
Back where it all began, mate.
Back where it all started. I mean, people are protesting and we're going to the footy. Some of us are going to the footy to get away from our other halves. We come back with cardiac arrest. I don't know what's going on, Terry. That was frustrating. We got the win. Oh man, I don't know how anyone can look at that game tonight. As let's be positive, we got the win. Sam Walsh, Grouse, good to see him back to it. I thought Motlop. I'm going to put my hand up right now. I'm not a Motlop hater. I'm a Motlop pressure applier. And it was good to see him perform. He had a game and he showed out. Thought Chincotta did a role, which was good to see. TDK done his job. As expected, he's versing an 80-year-old. I was a bit concerned, Terry. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it gave me Richmond round one vibes, and
Yep.
when they poured it on in the third quarter, third and fourth, we just can't handle the pressure. Like you can't you can't spin it to me any other way, and perhaps there was an element of luck that was involved. I don't know how you saw it. But to me, there was an element of luck. No run, no structure from the back half. And I'm going to mention Paul Sebastiani's name here. He messaged me during the game, and he made a valid point. I don't want to steal his thunder, but he did say one of the best things I've ever read. Like, have you ever seen us as a team be frightened by an opposition that's inferior to us? Like, I don't know, man. We get the W, we move along. Jack Silvani, that's probably one person I'll say. I thought he was man of the match.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the numbers and statistics will tell you and what it'll say, but Jack Silvani, I thought on Nate Caddy, who was coming in as the hot guy, probably taught him a lesson. And we just looked very solid with Jack out there. I heard you mention Blake Acres before. Like, Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. Like, mate, what, bro? This guy, this guy needs to be studied.
And to kick the goal as well. I'm rocking in my chair like.
There's a guy that watches you, Matt as a party. Shout out to Matt as a party. He sat behind me. I was doing the Mato Theo. I looked to the sky when he kicked that goal, and I was like, "This can't be real." And then
No.
I seen him do what he usually does. That moment in the towards City end where he had a chance to handball it, and he got tackled. I was the seat in front of me almost copped it. Oh, bro.
So I was sitting next to Paul.
Yeah.
Mars and Co were to the front, to the left of me. The scenes in the bays
Oh
when he
my God.
didn't give that ball off were frightening.
There were people around us that didn't want to be at the football and were questioning the decision for them to come to the football when that occurred.
Oh my mate.
But we have to keep it in check. But I don't know, Terry. Look, we're going to take the win, yeah. I mean, whether you're happy with it or not is a different story. It is what it is. I think it's a good reflection of where we are. Like, let's keep it a buck. Let's not dress it up any other way. That's where we are.
What's your
We don't have.
theory? What's your theory about how they can look so sharp early in the game? Like I mentioned earlier, 6 goals from 13 inside 50s, efficient, and then then kick 3 goals from the next 28. Like,
Yeah.
what's your theory?
I'm not going to give you my esoteric theory. I'll give you my exoteric theory,
Okay.
which is I believe they do not have confidence. This is a confidence-based team that ride on a wave of emotion. Exhibit A would be 2023. Similar sort of scenario. Lack of connection. I thought we tried to play a bit of a with the one big forward, the Collingwood style, where at times they kept the small forward, e.g., the Bobby Hill type deepest, and made Charlie run up the ground. I thought we tried to attack corridor, and just when one or two things don't go right, they just go back in their shells.
Yeah.
They can't handle pressure. That's my theory about it. And I'm not sure if that's a lack of direction. And no disrespect to our captain. Mate, this guy in the third quarter had as many touches as me. And I was eating a pie. Like, I'm not pinning it on him, but the leadership, perhaps. I actually thought Adam Chera was very good. He showed a lot of leadership.
Yeah.
I thought Ollie Hollins, again, he makes a few errors. He's another one who stepped up. But I just reckon, man, when they do they make a couple of mistakes, it's all in the head, Terry. It's all a mentality thing.
That's why I mean, I get it. It's laborious and it's, like the game styles. So I just don't see it being so laborious on their bodies in that first half that they're tired in the second half. I think it's here that it kicks in more than like they are physically fatigued. I watched these games, the other team, like every team plays this sport. It's hard. It's a difficult game to play. Like every game style is laborious. And to suggest that ours is more laborious than 17 other clubs, I can't cop it.
I'm going to tell you something, man. I'll let you in on a little secret. Your mind will tire before your body does.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that worse of footballers than 15 other teams.
Yeah.
And you can pin the coach whatever you want, blah blah blah. But I'm big on the players taking responsibility given the circumstances of where we are in what we thought was a rebuild, which is nothing's been built. not sure what part of a rebuild it is, but I think there might be a few changes at the end of the year, Terry. And
Yeah.
look, there's hope this year, but if you want me to be real, I don't see us playing finals. And I suppose, look, we can try and get something out for the rest of the year. Hudson O'Keefe, e.g., putting games into him. Matt Carroll again. I know he got subbed out. Yeah, I think we're in purgatory at the moment, Terry. And I don't want to be negative because we've won. And I agree with what you said earlier. Had we lost, the conversation we would have, I tell you what, it'd be a fucking short discussion.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
We'll take it.
Yeah.
We'll take it and we'll move on. And I'll see you in 2 weeks at the G for North Melbourne.
Can't wait for that. Thanks for having me on, man.
Take care, bro.
Much love. Bye-bye.
Let me get through some of these super chats. Bussy boy, it's a win. That's it. Yeah. No more, no less. Darren Hume, did everyone get their bobbleheads? I did not get a bobblehead, but I saw people with bobbleheads. Caspar McLeod, congrats Blues fans. From a Bombers fan, first quarter was awesome from you guys. Always look forward to these contests. Thank you very much, Caspar. Matthew, as a party, there he is. $8. Acres is clutch. That's all he is. Acres is something else, mate. Paul Sebastiani. You there? I can't hear you for some reason.
How about now?
Yeah, gotcha.
How are you?
After
After it all settled down, because we were at the game together.
I mean, that's 4 points. We won't remember this game very long for in the future, I don't think.
Or will we? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
We'll, this one will be forgotten about. I don't know. Look, listen, you got to be grateful for every win. I get it, but boy, oh
so
boy.
How was the silence in the first 5 minutes of the game and even into the build-up? Was it a weight of expectation? Was it knowing what both teams are probably going to dish up?
Well, I think it was like we were waiting to see what we were going to see in the first 10, and then we would decide whether or not we would sort of jump in there. And I thought the Bombers fans helped activate the crowd, to be honest. They were loud.
They were loud. They were very, very loud. They had a lot of players out, obviously, but we were after quarter time. Have you ever, and we saw it against Richmond, but we were saying it to each other during this game. Have you ever seen a team just panic and get so frantic when it just doesn't go their way for a little bit? It just, you could see it from where we were sitting. It was fascinating to see it all unfold the way it did. And it was not in one moment. It was a breakdown over 40, 50, 60 minutes where Essendon just chipped away and chipped away and chipped away. And it really was Richmond 2.0. It might have actually been worse than that, to be honest, because Essendon had a lot of players missing. And had they maybe had one or two of those blokes in, maybe a Redmond, maybe a Mackay, we might be talking about a different scenario here, but that is a hypothetical to a point.
Yeah. What's your theory? I don't know how much you've listened to so far, but 6 goals from our first 13 entries in the first quarter, and then 3 goals from our next 28. What is your theory as to why it breaks down after it looks efficient? Like, is it just an adjustment that the opposition is making and we've got mental weakness, or we crumble, or like
between the years? It's between the years. I think you can tell it's between the years because you can't, pardon me, you can't go from what it was in the first quarter to just automatically not being able to do that for the next 80 minutes. And look, granted, Essendon started horribly. They were shocking, but we moved the ball well. We were clean. We didn't rush. We weren't frantic. We took the most of our opportunities, and it was just a carbon copy of what we've seen for 4 years under Voss. When it's all going well to a point, we've seen this so often. We've seen this too often where we dart away to an early lead and then we just let teams get back into it. Not in a flurry though. It's a progressive drop off. Which did you hear what Michael Voss said post game with the
No.
Channel 7 crew? Oh wow.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, this is very, very interesting about the Patrick Cripps move forward. So not a coaching directive. He said, I'll have to talk to Patrick about that.
As in,
when Cripps moved forward for the majority of the third quarter, suggesting it was a player-driven thing, and he may or may not have been subordinate to a suggestion from coaches. I don't know how true that is, but Voss did not look. I think he looked too pleased.
Interesting. No, I've caught nothing from post game at all.
That was very, very, very fascinating. It's one that, look, I don't know. He'll address it in the full game press conference, which I haven't watched yet. I don't think it's been uploaded, but that was a very interesting quote post game with Channel 7. So he was down tonight. The skipper didn't really like his game.
Yeah, he was down. Yeah, he was. He fortunately had Chera and Hewitt, and I think Walsh to a degree.
Midfield after quarter time, we kept saying it at the ground. They got walloped, not walloped after quarter time, but the only bloke really standing up under the heat was Adam Chera. Thought he was sensational tonight, Chera.
Yeah, he was.
Barely fumbled, made the right decisions more often than not. He was really assertive and really directive with his play. He hurt them tonight, which, look, granted, it is the opposition to a point. I mean, that Essendon team is, look, with all due respect, a lot of those players wouldn't get into a lot of AFL teams, really. You know, they were very, very inexperienced and slaughtered by injury as well. And we struggled to put them away, which the game says more about us than it does about them. That's what I've concluded from it. And it's frustrating that Silvani was probably one of our better players again because he's a defender and he destroyed Nate Caddy tonight. I thought that was a great matchup from our coaches, but he was those backmen were just too involved with the play after quarter time. Too involved with the play. And then you see the McGovern down back move when it's all sort of going against us. That's just the defeatist. I don't like that. Not against that team. Not against that team. What happened after quarter time shouldn't have happened, but we've seen it far too often for it to not be a thing now, which is frustrating.
What were some of the other changes that happened? I mean, Cincotta came in and did the job on merit, and I thought
he was good.
That was a win. Yeah, that was a win.
Yep.
Zach
definitely.
Williams came in. I mean,
This guy, he was all right.
He was good.
Yeah, he was all right. He was that link up we need. Look, he's not going to be able to provide that link up with repeat efforts for 4 quarters because he's not that type of player. But I thought he was effective on the night. And outside of that, Hudson O'Keefe was okay, had some nice-ish moments. He's still got a lot to learn, getting separation with running patterns and whatnot, but hopefully that starts to come about with him. But he wasn't a ghost, which can sometimes happen with these big key position players on debut. But I thought he was okay. I don't know if he'll keep his spot. I doubt he'll keep his spot because Harry should be all right. But it was it's hard to get up and about after that. That's because I think we're all trying, but I think everybody kind of knows that the long-term game isn't really the vision of that is not. I think everybody's looking ahead.
Well, I think
going to be conducive to long-term results, if that makes sense.
Totally. I think all of us look ahead. I mean, quarter time, I'm standing there with you guys saying, you know what? Yeah, we're looking good. You know, like win 4 in a row against that Collingwood game. Like we win that one, then you know maybe.
What did you say? You said 100 points. You cheeky bugger. You cheeky little bugger.
I was like, what happens if we just go on with it and dominate this game and you know win by 100 points? Like, what does that do? It's a disease, man. I'm telling you, it's a sickness.
How far ahead did we move after quarter time?
Yeah, but like, I think. Do you think they're the same? Do you think they're the same out there? Like, players, in a way,
well, they played that way, didn't they? And it happened in the last quarter when we went 4 goals up, and it all just went to a point where it was okay. We've done the job. Then you concede. Then you concede again. Then it's within 2 goals, and they're all thinking, "Uh-oh." Can we big up Jesse Motlop? Was he a player that granted the opposition, but I liked his game.
No, he was excellent. I think full credit to him and found space. And I was saying I can't help but feel that having Orazio in the team is a contributing factor for that.
I'll agree with that. That they obviously see something in him. But like, let's just go through, and you can go through the numbers and whatnot. But like Charlie Curnow after halftime. 1. Akers, you look at his numbers, you think, wow, but my goodness, those handball burns. Oh, my golly. Oh, my golly. The second one in the middle when he burnt Sard and then decided he was going to...
If we had have lost tonight, I would never have forgotten that moment, ever.
Oh, no. And then he comes out and kicks a goal from 49 metres out in the pie stand on the run. Explain that. That's why you can't explain this game.
That's Akers. That is literally that is him.
That's him. Look, I thought the performance in itself, was really, really poor after quarter time. But again, it doesn't surprise me, and I think that's why everyone's a little flat after tonight. But like, look at the big players. Like everybody's going to talk about Motlop, and everybody's going to talk about Will White. Oh, you know, the bottom 6 and 7, they're not good enough. But like Cripps was down. Walsh was okay. I know he had it 32 times. Who else? Akers, senior player, not great. Sard, after quarter time again, just frantic and rushed and no composure when he had ball in hand. Williams was okay. But even Tom De Koning, I know, again, his numbers look like they're astronomical for a ruckman, but I didn't think he had a massive... I mean, he's playing against Todd Goldstein. With all due respect. So, I don't know. There's a lot of at this point, everybody knows it.
To be honest, I think to reframe it, I think at this point, I think a lot of people are not expecting this team to do anything magical this year.
No,
right?
No, not at all.
Therefore, I think it's about reframing. Like, you kind of got to look to the future now. If that's where your mindset is, like, this isn't the year, they're not going to win it. Okay, if you want to think that, like, sure, you're probably right. Cooper Lord for 3 weeks in a row now has just not looked out of place. Like, these are the guys I think we're going to move forward with ultimately. I don't know what's going to happen in the future with a guy like McGovern or Sard or Williams or all these types. So I'm able to look past them a little bit.
The only thing is the concern that they are playing and getting, I say high numbers, but is their output exceeding the expectation on their career at the moment because they've got bigger bodies and senior bodies around them? That's the only query I've got.
Mm.
And we won't know. We won't know. But it's probably a good thing, because when we went through that years ago, it was to our detriment. So, look, that performance is not going to be conducive of long-term success, and it's probably not going to be conducive of success this season. And I think I get the feeling that a lot of people understand that. Whether or not they can change it, that's another question. And again, they're probably the luckiest bunch of players and coaches in the league off a really, really poor patch of form. You get Essendon completely undermanned. You get West Coast next week, who were played in a diabolical match against North Melbourne today. And then you get North Melbourne the week after at the G.
Yeah.
Port Adelaide are wishy-washy as well. So there's no world to a point with which you go out, win all those games, and then everybody's just back on board with it, which is frustrating. No, it's hard because it's hard not to look ahead past that, because everybody wants the answer now. And everybody's answer now to the question is, are we good enough? And the answer is no. Not with what we've dished up through 13, 14 weeks.
Mm.
We just haven't had a really strong performance against good opposition since Geelong. And I know I keep saying it, but that's the outlier. That's the outlier. Today was the rule. Today was the rule. What you see is what we've seen for the last 18, 20 weeks. And we just so happened to get the result. That game was eerily similar to the Richmond match. Eerily similar. Eerily similar.
Well, thankfully, it didn't have the same result.
Heaven forbid we lose next week. My goodness.
I'll be honest, there's a little bit in the air of like, I sense it. Some people want us to lose. So then it can blow up.
You can't want your team to lose.
I can smell it in the air. People want us to lose so it can, quote unquote, blow up. And Graham Wright comes in with his big samurai sword and just chops everyone, and everyone gets sacked, and like, do it now. And
that's the argument for losing, isn't it? Which it's a loser mentality, isn't it? But again, it's probably long-term thinking.
Yeah, it's like, just let it play out. There's so many out of contract. Tom, we don't know what he's doing yet. Lots of moves are going to be made regardless of what happens for the rest of the year. Like that, it's happening. We know it's happening. It'll be
drip fed, won't it? It won't be all at once. You can't do it like that. But it'll be admin. Then it will be players. Then it might be people in list management. It will likely be coaches. I think that's definitely the obvious move. And how that all comes to fruition over the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just disheartening. It's just disheartening that we're 5-7 and we played like that tonight after being in complete control at quarter time and hoping that it was going to be a pretty not cruisy win, but a really strong win. And we haven't got that.
No.
So no one really feels satiated, mate.
4 points, Paul.
I felt satiated because I was there with you and Ave and Saif, and it was a good night, mate. We had a good night. We had a laugh.
It wasn't a great game of footy. It was a great 15, 20 minutes at the start, and they put the scoreboard pressure on. And then they fumbled it a little bit. They got us a little bit worried, and then made it a stressful environment. And then they pulled out the win. And then we go home, and I'm telling you, we'll forget about this game very quickly. I've seen too many like it.
Yeah, of course.
Too many. Yeah.
It was good to spend the night with you.
Likewise.
And we will do it all again very soon, my friend. Enjoy this night. And I hope it's a good long weekend for everybody out there, and go Demons.
Go Demons. Yeah, bro.
See you guys.
Andy.
Terry.
How are you, mate?
Bro, I'm actually I'm fuming.
You're mad, bro. I saw you after the game. I was like, I'm just gonna let you go. Like you were in a real.
Yeah.
You weren't happy. You were not.
Nah, that's not a win to celebrate, bro. That's not anything to be happy about. It's not anything to take positives out of. That is the most Carlton 2025 win. Very lucky to get that win. And bro, that was like a VFL side out there, bro. We played against the VFL side, and we made it look so. We do everything so hard, everything. And I've had enough, bro. I'm like losing my mind. I've never been angry after a win. I've always been like, bank the 4 points, never talk about it again. Doesn't matter. You win ugly. This wasn't even ugly, bro. To me, this is unacceptable. Like this can't be the standard. It just can't be. And it is what it is. Some people will be happy with it and just say, take the 4 points, and rightfully so, I guess. But there aren't many positives to take out of today, man.
Yeah.
How did you see it?
It was a painful win. It wasn't like it wasn't a cruisy win. It was painful. There's something about this group and what happens when they get the ascendancy. There's something about this group and what happens when the opposition come back at them. It's I don't know what it is, but there's something about this group. It's like they either want to flirt with danger or they don't have killer instinct in their collective bones. It's just, yeah. I mean, no one's happy with the win in the sense of we're celebrating, but I also think we're so jaded from the year. And to be honest with you, we could win 10 in a row and finish whatever. And no matter what happens, I know that we could make a prelim in the most miraculous of circumstances. And someone out there will be like, yeah, but we lost to Richmond round 1. So we kind of we're just kind of scarred a little bit from it. We do probably have to get over it. I don't know. I just don't think we should be. So, I mean, footy's supposed to bring joy. Like, yeah, that was shit tonight. Yeah, we weren't great. They were good for like 10, 15, 20. No, call it a quarter. They were good for a quarter. And then they just kind of they kicked 3 goals for the 3 quarters or something like that. What was it?
Yeah.
No,
I don't even know. Yeah.
5 goals for 3 quarters. I don't know. We know they're not good enough. So it's like we can continue to just do our heads in and smash our minds with the standard and what's acceptable and what's not. I think everyone knows that some sort of change is coming, and maybe that's part of what's going on in there. I just heard Paul talk about what happened after the game with Voss talking about Cripps going forward against instructional, whatever. So
that's weird. I didn't even hear that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's not good. Coach calling out his captain like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't watched the clip. I need to watch the clip, but he mentioned something about Cripps going forward, which was not part of the plan.
I like it though. I like it. Call him out. I like it. Is that signs of a coach that maybe knows his time's up and maybe feels hard done by? So he's just, you know what? This isn't all on me. He could have a bit of that. I don't know. This is the first I'm hearing of it. So
maybe.
I like it.
I'm sure it's going to get a run, but yeah. I mean, like I said, so in your mind, you don't think that this team's doing anything of significance this year, right?
No, I mean, can't. I think we're so far behind it now, and yeah, I think our losses speak more than our wins this year.
Yeah,
and I just think, look, there's always a chance, and I'm a sick puppy, yeah. So who knows?
Like fair enough. Even if you think fuck it, it's over, but then don't torture yourself.
Nah.
It's about. I mean, if they're doing nothing this year, then it really is about the future. Which I'm glad that we're playing 5 debutants this year instead of getting to this point being 5 and 7 and not having seen any of these kids like we've seen in the past. So I don't know. Footy just keeps moving. Yeah, I'd rather be watching a team play top 4 footy, but fuck. They've shown us too many times that they're not a top 4 side for us to beat our heads into the brick wall about why aren't they a top 4 side? I don't know, man.
But for me, it's just I can't understand how we can switch off so quickly, and things can go from really, really good to really, really bad within minutes, and Zach Williams celebrating before he kicked the goal, bro. If we lost, he would have copped it. He would have absolutely copped it. I loved it. I loved that he did it.
Yeah.
But man, if and footy is not a game of ifs, but yeah, it was just there was so many little moments in the game where you're just like, wow, like we're so far off it,
Yeah.
like. But it's weird. 2 years ago, we were in a prelim, like, and then the machine tells us, yeah, we're ready, we're primed, everything we've learnt from, or everything we've heard from Bolton to Teague to now Voss, this is it. It's led to this. And is this what we've done with the best list we've had in 20 years or whatever? Like, it's
Well,
very, very disappointing. And I'm just starting to get my head around the fact that we probably won't see a premiership. Not in the next 10 years, probably.
Probably.
I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong.
You're probably right.
Yeah, like I can't see us. And if Tassie end up coming in as well, like it's the worst time to try. And I'm not talking about a rebuild, but it's the worst time to probably reconfigure your list. When a new team comes in. So, man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be a tough road, man. We'll be doing this in another 10 years, Terry.
Do you think we look too far ahead and it steals the joy from today because we look too far ahead?
Absolutely, 100%. And this is something that I told myself at the start of the year that I wasn't going to do. I was just going to enjoy every week, the highs, the lows. I was just going to try to be balanced in the middle. And I think 3 quarters into round 1, I just let that go. So,
yeah, because it's pretty. It's bad to see how quiet that was at the start. Like we were, as a fan crowd, kind of waiting. Like, what are you going to show us today? Before it felt a little bit like, okay, what are you showing us? Like, all right, are you gonna switch on? And then they obviously did in the first quarter, and crowd got into it, and it was great. But yeah, it's sad because we're here after a win, but there's just this frustration, So I don't know. I don't know how we enjoy it, but
we've got to find some kind of joy, and that's what I'm going to try to do. Like I'm going to try because now that I've got like frustration, you have to find joy in a win. You just have to, right? So
yeah,
you have to, bro. Otherwise, what are we doing? If we can't enjoy the wins, then what's the point of all this? Like we got to find something, and I don't know. It might take me a couple of days, but yeah, right now I can't see many positives or any at all. So other than the fact that we got the 4 points.
Exactly.
Yeah.
End of.
Oh, we make everything hard, bro. Everything.
Yeah.
All good, man. You have a good night, Terry.
You too, man. Take care of yourself.
You too, brother. All the best.
Man. Tom.
What's going on, Tez?
How are you?
Yeah, good. Good. I feel like I'm not fitting in. I'm sort of, I had a bit of a celebration when we won. I think maybe I'm not living in the future mindset. I just love the week to week. Like I was just watching Fee on Bomber Banter for a little bit, watching their fan cams, and the positivity that's coming from them is it's like they won and we lost. Like it's kind of, and I get that we're at very different points of our, team and lists and that sort of thing. But if we were here losing, we'd be saying the exact same things. So I think that's what sort of this season's hurt us a little bit this year because we're not enjoying the wins when they're coming. And yeah, I know we deserve more and think this list should be doing more, but the fact of the matter is when the wins come, you got to take them because the first 4 weeks we would have taken this. Do you know what I mean? Like times have changed. Like we're talking about the Richmond game and stuff. Like I could see that as growth. We're at that point, like I said on the game day stream today, like Orazio coming in, Zach Williams is back. It just all of a sudden everyone's talking about how good of a game Motlop had, and everyone's saying JSOS had a good game. I reckon Nick Haynes was one of the best players on the ground. He just really held up in defence this week when they were coming. because I think Wiedering's having a few down weeks, unfortunately, but he's played 200 good games. He's allowed 3, so I think that's. But yeah,
It's
what do you
tricky
reckon?
because, well, it's this is a really interesting night because it's quickly become a high level conversation.
Yeah,
Like we're not zeroing in on the game tonight, maybe because it was frustrating. I thought there were, like most weeks, there's always a couple of individuals that have performed well
for
who are
sure.
younger. I mean, usually Jesse Motlop's on the other end and he hasn't performed well.
Yeah,
So there's usually performances that are good that people want to highlight. There's usually performances that are not so good that people want to highlight. I think there's just a general sense of like obvious frustration that, we were 15th going into the game and it's like, what have we become? And then you see the way that the game finishes and it doesn't look any better. And
yeah. And I
yeah.
mean, absolutely, like Doherty again had another really good game. I thought he's sort of, again, behind the ball. And yeah, Ollie butchers the ball a bit, but it's the run and carry that we need out of the back line, because if it wasn't for him tonight, we would have been beaten, I reckon. He really was a driving force at the start of that fourth quarter, moving the ball forward and sort of taking and releasing that pressure valve. And look, if he uses the ball a bit better, we probably kick away. But
Well, I'll tell you another thing that I thought's really interesting from this game. I mean, Patrick Cripps has had one of his lowest outputs and performances of the season.
yeah,
I didn't think Jacob Wiedering was great tonight. Didn't think
no.
he was the worst player, but didn't think he was great. So Wieders and Cripps don't play well, I thought, tonight.
And we lose. In the past, we lose.
That's a
Those,
definite loss.
yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
Charlie, something's going on with Charlie. I don't know if the leadership that he has being in the leadership group is sort of a bit much for his sort of, nature and the way he goes about things. Like he never looks like he takes anything seriously, and that's just who he is as a person. But you could just really read it tonight, like, I don't know, like he just needs to be at that heightened level that he sort of, you want to get him into the game, but I feel like he just expects the game to come to him.
Mm.
And he just, people can give crap to Jesse Motlop and say that he's not the kids, he's only like, what, 21, 22 years old. Like Charlie
21.
Curno's, everyone's saying Jesse Motlop should kick that goal in the last quarter. Charlie had a shot kicking around the corner from 20 metres out. That's the goal you got to be talking about. Like,
Yeah, they both have to go in.
but we're paying one bloke $800,000. The other one's probably still on his rookie deal. Like, we got to use this American term, but that's where you've got to put a bit more of your heat on, because Charlie kicks those 2 goals that he should have been kicking. All of a sudden, the game's blown out, and we're talking a different story. Like,
Yeah.
expecting, I thought Hudson O'Keefe played really well today. Seeing that, sounds like Harry's going to miss a few weeks. He sounds like he's got to have some knee clean out or something, they were saying.
Oh, I didn't catch that. What's that about, Harry?
So I got a message they had David Zeta on Fox Footy.
Yeah.
And he said that he looks like he might have to have some sort of clean out or something going in for the next few weeks, that his soreness isn't going away. So that might be a sort of leverage point to keep him in, considering who we're playing in the next few weeks.
Interesting.
Just sort of keep Harry back and not have him go to Perth and all that sort of stuff. So, Skull didn't put himself to shame. He held up, laid some good tackles. I thought he laid a really good tackle on McGrath in the middle of the ground. That was a big moment, because he thought he was just going to run around him, and the kid just laid the tackle well. Sarge never wear long sleeves again, I think. He had short sleeves, was great the first quarter, came out after halftime, had a shit third quarter, and then the fourth quarter he took it off again, and then
Did he put them on? Did he put the sleeves on?
He came out after halftime with sleeves on, and then at 3/4 time he didn't have sleeves again.
There you go. There you go.
But no, I think, a win's a win. It's sort of, it's not doom and gloom, but we've got to enjoy them, because these fan cams first 4 rounds of the season, they were doom and gloom.
It was terrible.
Were doom and gloom. And
terrible.
Yeah, we gotta live in the moment because we've been living in the future for 30 years and it's killed us. So if we take it, that old adage, take it one week at a time, enjoy ourselves, and then get up for North.
Yeah.
Oh, West Coast.
See you next Sunday, mate. Graveyard shift, 6:10 p.m. Sunday night, Optus Stadium. See you then.
That's where the bottom 4 teams play, mate.
Go Blues.
Have a good one, bud. See ya.
See ya. Jad. Yalla.
Yeah, yalla. Oh, how are you, bro? How are you? Let's start with you. How are you?
No, mate, don't worry about me. I'm fine. How are you going?
Oh, fucking blood's boiling.
Why, man? Why? You we're no good.
Oh, blood's boiling.
Talk me through.
Not bad for a guy who told you today he doesn't care anymore.
It's fascinating because I know you don't believe in what's happening, right? And you've made it very clear, and the rebuild's failed, and I know that you don't believe in the team's prospects this year. That's fine. So it's how can you be mad when you know what you know, and you see kids playing and they're moving to the future? Some of these guys are going to have to be moved on, and yada yada yada. So what are you mad about?
I'm mad. Everything you said is so true, but I'm so angry that we're here.
I know. Yeah, fair.
I find it I find with you're very good at letting go, and you can accept the situation for what it is, and you can let go, and you can wait to the end of the year, and what will happen. But I can't. I'm not wired in that way. It's probably a big flaw because I find it so hard to let go of the people who got us to this spot. And but first, let me preface what I'm going to say on this by saying, if you want to celebrate the win, I'm never going to be the person to tell people how to celebrate or how to enjoy a win. I get it. Footy is an escape for everyone. I mean, shit, if you can't enjoy a win, what's even the point? I've heard that sentiment go around this fan camp tonight. It's true. If you want to enjoy. I'm not telling you not to. But my God, Terry. I feel bad for you because I know you take the energy on, and I feel that's why sometimes I don't come on that much anymore, because I don't like to put you in that spot and to drag you down with me. That's how I feel about it.
No, this isn't about me. This is about documenting the fan sentiment of every single game. So I'm a big boy and I'll deal with it and I'm fine. There's nothing wrong with people that want to celebrate the win. There's also nothing wrong with, and nothing illegal with, people who are not happy with the win. That's how you feel. That's how you feel. It was painful, man. It was let's be honest. It was and I'll ask you again. I asked everyone earlier. What is your theory behind why we can be so efficient and locked in early, 6 goals from 13 entries, and then 3 goals from the following 28 entries? Is the game style so hard that it's just taxing their bodies so much that they just are struggling to kick because they have copped so many bumps? And I just don't think we're working as hard as what it's being made out that we are working compared to the league. Everyone, this game is brutal and it's hard. I just think what is falling down is in their head more than what it is their physical fatigue.
Okay. Well, let's break it down. So I'll need you to keep me on track because I can go off a bit. Okay.
Right.
My overall arching thing, and I believe this so strongly, and it frustrates the shit out of me because I feel like as a fan base, we're so jaded from our history of sacking coaches that it's become this thing that we just can't sack a coach anymore. We can't sack a coach. We can't sack a coach. It doesn't work. We can't keep sacking coaches. And I don't agree with that at all. It's high-level sport. When a coach isn't good enough, it's a very simple, you replace him. Okay? So I believe all these issues we're seeing, Cripps going against Voss's instruction, comes down to coaching. It is, in my opinion, all coaching. If you want to say the game plan isn't that physically demanding, okay, let's go with that. The game plan is as mentally demanding as it is physically demanding. So whether the fatigue we're seeing on the ground is
What does that mean?
physical or mental, hey?
What, explain that. Like, what does that mean? The game plan is mentally demanding.
What they are asked to do.
Yeah.
What is expected of them before they even walk out onto the ground. And I mentioned it on my last fan cam. We're expecting blokes to pick out targets in the most unbelievable congestion you'll ever see. We're expecting guys to pick out Charlie and Harry with 3 defenders on them. We're expecting too much. And I believe that when that mental build-up happens and then they keep making mistake after mistake after mistake in this impossibly hard to pull off system, this is the result. Their the mentality, the confidence erodes. I don't know if you've ever had a boss that you considered bad, but you know what it's like. When you are being told to do something, right? Okay.
So you don't believe in what they're doing. I know exactly where you go. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know inside yourself that what you're being asked to do, it doesn't make sense, or it's not realistic. It's not something that you feel should be expected of you. And that's what I see when I watch this team. So we got the win today. Okay. And so we got the win. And it's almost like it's coach versus players. Okay. So that Cripps thing with Voss is such a telling thing. So Cripps takes himself out of the midfield in the third quarter and puts himself forward. You can pick your side with that. Whose side am I on? I'm on the captain's side. He has seen and heard and listened to Voss for 4 bloody years, and what this guy wants does not work. It does not work over the course of a home and away season. So if the captain feels that, hey, I need to take myself out of the midfield and put the responsibility on others, and we'll see who stands up. It's sink or swim. If that's the decision he's made, and of course I'm speculating, but if that's the decision he's made, I am 100% behind the captain. How many times can we expect Patrick Cripps to do the same thing over and over and over and over and over? Maybe tonight he just said, you know what, fuck it. It's on you guys. You guys sort it out. Maybe in his head he decided, you know what, I'm okay if we drop this game. I want to see who is going to take my place and who is going to drag the team instead of me all the time.
Yeah. I actually have no issue if there is a player's decision and some initiative is being used. My issue with it is that if anything, it's Cripps has an opportunity to do the team thing when he takes that left foot snap shot on goal. Wrong move. No worries. You want to go forward and impact the game.
Yeah.
I am with you. I don't think all players are buying in. I think some are, and I think some aren't. I'm with you.
I agree, and I think some of them are so fatigued by the absolute shit they've been asked to do over the last 4 years. I think it's just fatigue. And I said to you on the last time I spoke to you, I will never ever concede that we as a club have recruited the worst ball users in the league for the last 20 years. It is just impossible.
The worst what? Sorry.
The worst like skilled players, ball users, things like that. Look, The way I view football is that if your system is what your system elevates, okay? Your system will elevate your skills, it will elevate your competence. And we are in a system that erodes those things. It erodes them. That's why week to week we can look so good and then we turn to shit. And at the first quarter was great. Then Essendon put the clamps on. Their coach responds to what we're doing. And then our coach has no bloody answers. No answers for the last 4 years.
How do you explain the space looking like it opened up in that first quarter based on their positioning and then it just closing up? Is that just opposition adjustments that were made and then our failure to readjust to the initial adjustment? Because what I saw in that first quarter, I'm like, wow, where did this space come from? Like, you know?
Yeah, it's of course. I think
it's like they can't do it. It's just it falls away too quickly.
And okay, And so tonight they went out in that first quarter and they implemented that, okay? And I remember Charlie during the week, the clip that you highlighted, where he goes, we've got to make more space for each other. It's getting too hard to pick each other around in this congestion. So they did that. But then what happens in elite sport, all over the world, every sport, the opposition responds. Essendon have a very, 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 very good football coach. He's always been a good football coach. He responded. What does our coach do? It's like there's no levers to respond to the response, and then we get the mental side of the game comes into it. Players lose confidence. They go into their shell. Shit, what's our way? Bomb it long, close it up, congest it. It's to me. I just feel like we're so jaded from sacking coaches that everyone wants to talk around the issue. To me, it's the most obvious thing in the world, and I could be wrong. It's just how I feel. It's the most obvious thing in the world that we are the most poorly coached team in the league, and that is the stem and root of our problems. Things like skill and confidence, they're like branches off that tree, okay? It all stems from this one thing, and that's where we are. And then Essendon tonight, shit, Terry, I've rated them for so bloody long, and they just look so much better than us. Not in the result, clearly. They made errors too, but just with the ball in hand, they look better. The way they exit 50 was better. If you notice, every time they exit our 50, they'd find a free target pushing hard onto the wing or something like that. It's just, if you ask me right now, whose list do you want? Far out. I love some of the talent they've got. It kills me. It just absolutely kills me because I hate them.
You wouldn't say Essendon's list over ours. You would say ours with a better coach.
I really like some of their players. Of course, I'm not going to pick their list over ours, but it's see how hard it is for me to come to that, to come and actually say that. It's and just like to echo, was it Sayed's thoughts. Tonight was just like the Sydney game and then the GWS game, both teams undermanned, and we just like what more evidence do we need that our coaching just isn't up to it? If you cannot take advantage of a team like Essendon tonight, missing all those players, I'm sorry, man. No.
They're in the perfect spot, the Bombers. No one's expecting much of them. They've aligned their expectations. I don't know.
Yeah, hey. I don't know. I feel like with them, sorry, mate, there's a real shift with them. It's almost like they've accepted where they are as a club, and that's just something we've never been able to do for long enough.
They've only just done it. But at the same time, I'd rather have expectations and be in the pressure cooker than be in a team that has no expectation. Because eventually they're going to have expectation. Like, don't get blinded. Merritt's in the prime of his career. He doesn't want to be rebuilding. Don't get blinded. It's easy to say. It's easy when you're in that phase where like people aren't expecting you to win, and at some point that turns and you have to meet it. You know, I think the Suns are going through that now, expecting. Adelaide are going through that now. The Dogs to a degree, Freo to a degree are going through that now. For years, they haven't really been expected to win, and now the expectation's starting to come, and you see them drop off a bit. The Giants are starting to go through it again. Like, mate, it's tough.
Can I just finish off on some positives? Be quick for you. And this just reaffirms my belief that our players aren't the issue. Like, Ollie Hollands, you go, young man. This guy, he is never a bad baller by any stretch of the imagination. He's a footballer, Terry. And with like how we keep seeing our players develop bad performance, good performance, bad performance, good performance. That's what I just believe. It all stems from what they're being asked to do. Well done, Ollie Hollands. Jesse Motlop, I thought it was a competent game. Like, people are really hyping him up. I don't know. I just feel like
it's because of how bad he's. I think it's because of the pressure that he's been on. Like, it was he did his job.
But even then, bro, I feel like what he does, like we're praising him for the bare minimum. Like, no, I don't know. I believe in him as a player.
No, I believe in him because he hasn't been able to show this level much this season.
Look, I agree to disagree, but like
As in, like,
I
people
believe in him
want
as a player.
that should be the
But
standard game for him. That's kind of what we're
yeah,
looking for.
exactly the standard. Exactly right, the standard. Not oh my god, incredible jersey. Well, no, the standard. Well done, Hawk. Fantastic. That's I don't know. Sometimes you look at a player and they've got it. I feel like he has a bit of it. I don't want to go too early, but a bit of it. I don't know. It just looks really, really settled in one game. But
What
yeah,
about Cooper
if you want to
Lord,
move
mate?
on, hey.
What about Cooper Lord, mate?
Oh yeah, he's been good for a bit now.
I think the kids that are playing, I don't know why. I thought Matt Carroll was. I mean, he made some errors, but there's some things to work with these boys that are coming through.
Oh, absolutely. Like, absolutely. And do not get it twisted for a second. When I've called for a mini rebuild, the key word is mini. You mentioned it earlier. Rebuilds aren't these fucking, well, whatever we did. That's not what that is anymore.
Yeah.
So let's not get it twisted. The kids are showing some good things. And I don't know. I think in a couple of years, it can really be flipped. But,
Yeah. Mate,
all right.
smile, you're alive, and the Blues won.
Yay. I don't know. Somebody help.
See you next Sunday, bro. Graveyard shift.
See ya, man. I don't.
Sorry, what was that? What was that?
Oh, I was like, I don't care anymore. They jump on fan cam and give an all-time rant.
With a pen and notes. Amazing.
Notes. All right,
bro.
have a good one.
You too. They'll make movies about us one day. I'm sure of it. Studies. Tyler.
Hey, Terry. How you going?
Mate, I'm telling you, they will do thesis upon thesis upon thesis around Carlton supporters one day. I'm
100%.
convinced.
They need to do a psychological study on us, to be honest.
Mate,
They study our brains after our death, see how it's affected our brains.
For real, someone could do a PhD for real around the link between sanity and supporting the Carlton, like a sports team or whatever.
Yeah,
someone will do it, and they'll use this as the evidence.
Yeah, 100%. Look, it was the break we needed, but it was the win we needed.
Yeah.
How we won was not pretty. No one's going to dispute that. It was absolutely it was not great at all. But there's some positives I take out of it. First quarter, yeah, it was amazing. That's an AFL standard quarter as it should be. I feel like. What I mean by that is like that's the level of intensity. That is your ability to move the ball and to execute your game plan. That's what it should be. That's your premiership quarter or whatever. But one of the best plays I saw out of that first quarter was Motz's first goal. The reason why I say that is because you had I can't remember who kicked it to Motz, but it was that short delay because McGovern was running into the goal square. That delay forced Essendon to have a bit of tunnel vision and watch McGovern. Yeah, they could have easily gone for McGovern and all of that, but they just that last minute delay. All of a sudden, Motz is open and all of that. I thought that was brilliant because that was two different leads going at two very good leads going at the same time, which made it very hard for Essendon to defend. I thought that was really good. The fact also that we had 10 intercepts in the first quarter, that's what everyone was talking about. That was great. I think where it really fell off the wagon was the last minute of the second quarter. Where that goal was kicked just before the siren. I think it was Peter Wright that kicked it.
2 meter
Peter. We had just kicked a goal before, got us back up to 34 points or whatever it was, and then all of a sudden, bang. And it's like all that work we had done, gone.
Yeah.
Third quarter, let's just call it what it is. It was shit. That was their worst quarter, 100%. The goal that I loved the most was definitely Zach Williams' goal. That was really good. I think that stemmed from the tackle from DeConnie in the center on. I thought that was just brilliant. A big hit done out the back, and that's what the commentators were saying. Like, if that tackle, what happened was they said with Williams, he ran only when he knew that ball was out. More to do with the fact that he could see that if when Chera had the ball, he knew go, run, run, because that could have easily gone the opposite direction, and then we would have been caught out. But hey, look, that was really good. I got really freaking nervous when Martin kicked that fucking goal in the fourth quarter. I got really fucking nervous.
Yeah, that had
'Cause
honestly, that had round one.
Yeah, that was
Like
round one.
scarring in scar tissue in my mind. I'm like, oh
Mm.
my goodness. And I just started
Yeah.
seeing, I'm like, it's going to be like Guelphy next, isn't it? Or it's going to
Yeah.
be Nate Caddy, who had been stopped all game, just bob up.
Yeah.
I started seeing all the bad thoughts
all the
start
pieces
coming.
fall together. Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, that was definitely the one. But then again, also at the same time, he had a blunder in the first quarter with a deliberate when he didn't need to through the point. So like that was his little saving grace. But
Yeah.
oh, it wasn't great. But hey, look, you take the win. Take the win, I guess. I suppose. So no, we'll take the win. We'll take the win. But
Listen, we'll take the win, and they got a week now until West Coast away, which, mind you, I don't even want to hear it. Don't even tell me, danger game. Like, no way. I watched the Eagles today. They will give us opportunities to refine our ball movement because of the way that they move the ball. The way that they use the ball today. Like, I know that we use the ball
I
poorly.
saw that. Yeah, it was terrible.
So, yeah.
We'll make them, like, if we play shit, we'll make them look really good. So, but Carlton's our own worst enemy, and I think that's what everyone is really saying is that, like, and especially like you're asking, like, is we are our own worst enemy. It's definitely pressure, and it is also it's mentality. Like the play, I don't know. It's just I don't think it's the game plan. I really don't think it's the game plan. It is literally pressure, and it's pressure when the opposition come at you, but also at the same time, it is a mixture of expectation as well. Just a little bit. Like we're expected to be winning. We're expecting to be like anyone would have gone into this game going Carlton needs to win this game. It's expected.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a mixture of everything. But I think, to be honest, like ever since the prelim, I reckon it got to their heads. I reckon it got to their heads a little bit. The fame, the glory got to their heads a little bit. Like, but anyway, it should be a very interesting game against West Coast. But then again, like we had our key highlights, like JSOS, great, definitely best on ground, except for that fucking down the full kick that he kicked. I don't know. Where was that ball going, Terry? Where was it going?
Mate, I'm still trying to figure out how Blake Acres kicked that goal. I'm still trying to figure that out.
I was shocked. I was shocked when he kicked that. That was reminiscent of the goal that the running goal by I can't remember his name against Richmond one game where it was the dying minutes. It was just
Brock McLean?
Brock McLean, that's it. Brock McLean.
No. Yes, it was Brock McLean.
Yeah, it was the McLean goal. That's reminiscent of the
2014.
McLean goal. It was just a freak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just a peach. But
anyway.
Hey, look.
Tyler,
take
love
the
your
win.
work, mate. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Take care, mate.
Catch you,
See
Terry.
ya. From Tyler to Tyler. Tyler.
G'day, Terry. How we going?
Mate, we are going well. That's a great microphone set up there. You got it all happening long. Love what's going on here.
Oh, it's a bit bit shit house, a bit like the club at the minute. But hey, we got the bloody win. Hey, let's go.
Hey, come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, it is hard to be caught up in, we won when you end up nearly getting belted out of that game by, they came back from 40 odd down, getting it within a goal at the end.
Yeah.
That's the game. It's why we love it. If this was bloody soccer saying, these are the kind of games where you're up 2-0 and someone kicks a goal at the 90th and, they're coming around there and the thing and you go, it's an awesome game at the end. It's probably better than like winning by 90 odd. You'd feel better winning by 90 odd, but wouldn't you? You're going by the last quarter, you're already there.
Judging by what I mean, look, we were 4-7 going into the game. So there's just this residual build-up of pissed off from the Giants game, which was disgusting, which followed the Sydney game, which was disgusting. And so, yeah, I just sense it. Like a lot of us are just feeling jaded. I mean, I sat there pretty quiet tonight for the most part, not going to lie. I mean, I feel at times I'm going through the motions with the games, which is sad or whatever. It is what it is. I would like to be going to the footy and it, bringing me this spark of energy and like screaming at the footy. I want that. It's hard. I mean, I got a little bit excited early in the game. I liked what I saw. But then obviously that became pretty stressful. And I think that's just what it is. It's just stressful right now. It's not easy.
Oh, God, yeah, mate. I mean, I went to the Giants game 2 weeks ago. First game gone to in like 7 odd years.
Yeah.
More for like work reasons, whatever. And then went with Dad and said to him afterwards, sorry for dragging you out to this piece of shit game. Because, I mean, it's not wrong. I mean, when we had the advantage, in that game, we squandered it. When we had the advantage in this game, we actually took it by the balls. And,
yeah,
that first quarter was insane. And honestly, I turned on in the second quarter. So I'm watching like all the sort of little highlight stuff coming up on Facebook, Instagram, whatever, going, we're actually looking bloody good for once. And then turn it on, we start going to shit, and you're going, oh, fuck. But yeah. What I'd probably say is point that came up earlier with Vossi was that it's not just on him. Like, I mean, he will oversee like the end goal of the system, but is it a forward line thing? Is it a midfield coach thing? Is it a back line coach thing? Is it a footy boss thing? Is this list management? He's your head coach, but he doesn't run the whole bloody thing. Yeah. So where are what are the actual problem areas? And I'm hoping that we're hearing that, Graham Wright's kind of we will sack everyone and rebuild from ground up, more administrative side, maybe cut some players loose. Because honestly, a couple of the big high money earner guys, I wouldn't be that upset if we lose Tom de Koning. I don't think he's worth 1.7 mil. I don't think he's worth 700 grand. Outside of his ruck work, outside of his marking, you watch him kick inside fucking 50. There was one there where we're going, could have been an absolutely awesome entry, but he bombs it like 15 meters up in the air.
Yeah.
And you're all bloody sitting under it, and you're going, what the hell are you doing, mate? Just dart it. Just put it to the top of the bloody square. Do anything but put it up. As a ruck, I love Tom. His ruck work is probably the best in the league. But you don't win games by having the best hit out. Yeah, your ruckman's got to be able to actually hit a bloody target or put it close to a target.
Yeah. I mean, there was a passage of play with Tom. I can't remember when it was. Definitely in the second half. He just got it out of the ruck contest and banged it on the boot, and it was it was straight to nobody. He banged it forward for us. Bombers cleaned it up, and I sort of was sitting next to Paul, and I said, the stat sheet will say that that's a hit out and a clearance to Tom De Koning. But that's just gone straight to the opponent and nothing came of it. And it's in that the numbers can be deceiving. I thought he was okay tonight. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, I mean,
But-
he looked good, but I mean, you
Yeah.
made a 36-year-old Todd Goldstein, who
Yeah.
by everyone's report is saying that he shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
so like
he
there
didn't
are
have
that
a
bits and pieces that even when we played Adelaide, Riley O'Brien got a hold of him. You know, it's like his ruck work, his jump work, his marking work is best in the league
Mm.
by far, and we love him for that. But can you actually trust him with the ball in your hand?
Yeah.
If Silvani wants him, would you
where are
honestly
you-
say, where am I?
Where are you on the? You're just looking to see who's going to be with us in the future, or you're still in the thick of 2025 and anything's possible, and you still believe?
Honestly, I think you've kind of got to do both at once.
Hmm.
My honest opinion would be at the end of the year, you might be looking at moving on a Harry Mackay or moving him somewhere else. He's been another great servant to the club, but do you need like two superstar key forwards? We've seen Hudson O'Keefe this week. We've seen Harry O'Farrell against the Giants. Both come in. You still got young Harry Lemmy. You know, there are other rucks, other key forwards in the game that would do a job. Do you do you need some of these big money players in the team? And I'm saying this even though we won. But today we saw, would Harry Mackay have given us another couple of put us up by another couple of goals in that game?
I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, they would. But are you also looking at where all the marking contests are and going, well, Harry and Charlie are still in the same bloody spot as each other?
Mm.
You know? I don't know. Looking at that stuff, I think Cripps going forwards and great move for us, even though we didn't bloody touch it. He had, looking at the stats up here, he actually had the most inside 50 tackles for the game.
There you go. Wow.
Probably not the most tackles for us. He had 6 tackles in the end, 3 inside 50 tackles, but that's not, you're not paying your 195 centimeter midfield bull to tackle inside 50. You're paying him to win bloody clearance.
Yeah.
But I don't mind him doing that. It does free up you guys like George and Ches and to a lesser extent Walsh, because I don't think Walsh should be on the inside, but that's what they're doing at the minute. But yeah, I the midfield honestly kind of nearly works better if you don't have Chera, Hewitt, and Cripps in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when Hewitt was back to his best tonight after a few down weeks. I thought Chera battled as well. He was pretty consistent. And I actually thought we got a better version of Sam Walsh tonight that we had compared to what we'd been seeing for the last month. So, yeah, I don't know. I won't read too much into this game. I'll just, it didn't tell me anything. I didn't learn anything new about Carlton from this game.
Yeah. No, and
I don't think any of us did.
Not really. I think we're learning that we don't need to be dependent on Harry and Charlie to win games.
Yeah.
I mean, not that most of the small forwards did a hell of a lot up forward, but they contribute in their own ways. Motlop had probably nearly his best game for the year.
Yeah.
You get other guys like Fogarty looked pretty good running backwards. Cooper Lord was everywhere. Had a look at his heat map. Spoiler for your ratings thing. He was genuinely everywhere. I think the only place he wasn't was in the middle of the bloody ground. He looks like another bloke that he contributes. He might not have had stats wise his greatest game, but he looks bloody awesome. And yeah,
we'll take it, mate.
We will.
Love it. Have you been on the fan cams before?
No, I should have said at the start. Long time listener, first time caller.
Love it, mate. We're getting fresh blood on the field. We're getting fresh blood on the fan cams. I love to see it. Thanks for calling in.
That's all right, Derek.
Go Blues.
Yeah, go the Baggers.
I love that. Simon, let's talk.
Tez, I love the fan cams. I love it. You know why? Because I honestly thought after the game I might have been one of not many with the same sentiments, but as I've listened to the last hour, I'm like, oh, it's not just me. It's very, very. It's a theme. It's a theme. But yeah.
What are the thoughts, mate? What were your thoughts from the game tonight that you thought you were
I
gonna
started yelling again at the TV, which shows I'm still invested, I guess. But yeah, I can't answer your question why we're so good 1 minute and then we're off the next. I can't. That's what is really frustrating. Actually, I'm still confused with our team. I'm still left confused, wondering what the consistency or when is it going to happen. But I do believe the stats pumped us up a bit tonight. Like there's a few players there, like TDK, Blake, Akers kick for goal. We're all going to think. I was like, yeah, I'm like, oh, of course, this potato kicks the goal like this. But then he burns his captain right running past. Like he literally looked him in the eyes and said, "Nah, mate, not today." Yeah, so just some inflation on the stats and I thought, look, yes, they had good moments. They did. TDK, yes, good moments, but yeah, our kids are doing their job. I mean, they make the odd mistake, but they're pretty like their defensive efforts, and they're adding a bit of spark at times. Like Matty Carroll, he was just laying. He's only probably weighs 70 kilos. He's laying tackles left, right, and centre. Cooper Lloyd, obviously, he's got a bit of a bigger body, but they're just throwing themselves at it. And some of the guys there, like, are just going in a bit one-handed. I mean, I was really disappointed with McGovern tonight, I'll be honest, because he surely would know that his opportunities are becoming more limited. And, and then when he's getting shifted to the back, whether that's obviously just for the team aspect, but I'm thinking he wasn't doing much forward either, forward of centre. So, and I believe I'm with Paulo with Cripps being forward. I think in general we're going to lose a tall this year, and it is likely it's going to be McKay. Because I thought our forward line, even though we were inconsistent, I still rated our forward line tonight. It still looks like we're going to score now. Like it looks like something's going to happen. Whereas when it's just two talls, it's just very, very predictable, not as dynamic. And I think it allows. I love Jesse's game because he was more. He was inside 450 a lot more than probably the past few weeks. So there's aspects that we're changing on the run, but I still, again, what do you read into this game? I don't read nothing into it. I was just wrapped that I didn't have to hear my Essendon mates give it to me. That was probably the only thing. But it's a tough one.
I'm going to move on pretty quickly from this game, as in, like, not taking too much. I'm stoked more so that we didn't lose than that we won, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
we don't want to lose to a rival.
The dread of what this show would have been if this was a loss.
Deja vu.
I can't tell you.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean much. It was a win. Had a good time. Went to the game with Paul. I haven't been to a game with Paul.
Yeah, how cold was it there for you boys? Because it looked cold on TV.
You know what? It wasn't as cold as I thought it was going to be, if I'm honest. The way I rugged up, I had like a big, massive puffer jacket on. It wasn't that cold. It was cold, but I expected it to be disgusting. But I don't know, man. We'll just take this one and we'll run along with it and just go through the motions and see what the next few weeks hold. And if they can get on a little bit of a run, maybe find some confidence, then we'll see what happens. But honestly, just week by week, one at a time. That's it.
Massive shout out, though, to Hock. I love this game. I know he only got about 5-6 touches, but he was ragdolling a couple of guys, taking contested marks. Can't find those players on trees. When Harry was doing that early, we were like, oh, how good is this guy going to be? And he done it tonight, and he almost flushed, or he flushed it, but just missed that shot of goal. But That to me, like that and the signs of the twos. I know twos footy at the moment. I watched that game. Oh, that was a bit of a horror show to watch as well. But the Ben Camporellis and Lemmy and they actually are consistently putting up some good performances now. So hopefully that puts that little bit of pressure on. Like McGovern, if we're going to go at all inside 50, God, just give Lemmy a go. We're playing West Coast and North, so you think that we'd have the confidence to be able to beat those sides, no matter who we put on the park. But I guess we'll just see, Terry. But I don't know, mate. I'm confused. This team, they've emotionally trained me. I'm tired of screaming. I thought I was never going to scream at the TV again unless it was a prelim or something, But I'm there. I'm telling the kids, shut up. I'm trying to watch the game. I'm losing my stuff, but they bring out the best in us, don't they?
They absolutely do. So
that's it, mate.
Thanks for calling.
Take care. Thanks, mate. Good work.
Go Blues. I think I missed a super chat here. Petra Can, thank you. Have grand finals tickets been released yet? Zach.
How are we, Tez?
Hey, mate, we're good. We're going all right. Going strong. Yeah.
We're going well. Yeah. Wow. What a game. I mean, geez, it was just it was grit, it was experience, and it was just teamwork at the end. At the end, and they got the job done. How do you feel, Tez? How do you feel? I want to get to you first.
I feel all right. I feel relieved that we didn't lose more than
100%. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know what the win means. I don't really take much meaning from the win other than we just won a game of football tonight. That's it.
Yep.
I'm more happy that we didn't lose because I think we're, especially at 4-7, I thought we were one more loss away in the next month from just another repeat of just the bad of the fan base and like the emotionally bad of the fan base.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, I've said this to a lot of people, and I'll say it again: a win's a win. Because in the end of the day, we get 4 points. We're moving up. You know what I mean? So these games are going to come, and Essendon, they're unexperienced, a lot of young players, a lot of injuries, but Essendon, look what they did to Brisbane last week. At the Gabba, they came back and they tested it. And Brisbane up by how much in the first quarter? Were they up by
a lot? It was actually very simple. It's actually that Brisbane Essendon game last week was very similar to the game tonight.
Yeah, I want to. Yeah. Go on. What were you gonna say?
Well, I was saying we're very similar, except we didn't lose the lead.
100%. Yeah. I think a lot of players played well. I think Motlop kicking 2 goals. He really needed that, that confidence booster. That was good to see. I think Hudson O'Keefe on debut was good. I think he played his role, taking the 5 contested marks. He could be something really good, Tez. I think he needs a pre-season in the gym. He needs to put on some weight. He'll be very good. I think he'll be something, man. I think everyone played their role tonight. When it mattered, Chincotta with the tagging, the backs, Silvani, just steps up when it matters. I think everyone just played the role when it mattered, and I think they all stepped up in the end.
Yeah,
so it was good.
All that matters is winning, mate. That's the most important thing in the world.
The only thing that matters, Tez, is winning. That's 100%. Go the Blues, Tez, and let's see.
See you next
West
Sunday,
Coast
mate.
next week. Get the win. We should win. With that team, we're more experienced, and I think that we're just a way better side than them. So, yeah. And one last thing I want to make: who would be your changes for next week, or are you not focusing your mind on that, or maybe Corey Durning comes back in, maybe?
I think I'd bring in Lockie Cowan for Matt Carroll personally.
Who? Yeah, Matt Carroll. Yeah. Maybe Corey Durning for Will White. We'll see, Tez.
Nothing against Matt Carroll, but yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. Yeah. We'll enjoy the win. All right, see you, Tez. Have a good night.
Good on you, Zach. See you, mate.
Yep.
Go Blues. We're going to go out to Thailand.
There you go.
Jeff is here.
G'day, Tezza. How are you, mate?
Mate, I'm good. We are
Gotta love
tracking
Zach.
along.
You got to love Zach, mate. That's the future of Carlton support football. The guy is an analytical genius, mate. He understands the game. He knows what's going on. It's absolutely brilliant. I love listening to that young fella.
He's a good one.
Now,
He's a good egg.
He's a good egg, mate. And look, any win against Essendon or Collingwood is magnificent, right? They've come off a bye. The club's in disarray. There's injuries. There's new guys. JSOS come back. He played a really good game. Look, I reckon everyone played a good game. Even Motlop played a good game, right? He tried his guts out. The guy falls over. He drops the ball. He's given it all. He's a bit slow on the tackles. You asked a question a couple of weeks ago. Who would we replace Motlop with? Mate, you want the list? It's about a mile long. We'll start with the Camporellis. Any of those two would do. Mate, you'd have them all day in that forward line. Put them bloody both in. Kick the fucking idiots out that are in there. What is going on with Curnow? Harry O'Keefe, what's his name? O'Keefe? Going to be a champion, that boy. Like his work. Akers stepped out of the box today. I'm really impressed with Blake Akers today. What do you reckon, Tess? Well, I think that was a win. A win was needed. We needed to have. It was ugly, but it was okay. You know, everyone contributed. When you look at it, when you analyse it,
it was. I think the frustration's more so coming from, like tonight was a little bit frustrating, but I think the frustration that I'm seeing tonight is more from what's happened all season, and there's just a general.
I think they steadied the ship after half time. They stayed in it. They got back. They backed each other up. It's all you can ask for, mate. Really. I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's 8 points or 10 goals. They got the win. They got it done. They ground it out. Slap each other on the back. Let's go to next week. Get another win. Let's grind it out week by week. Build it up. Young Zach's got it in the bag, mate. He knows what's going on.
Nah, absolutely, mate. What about you? What's the story over there, mate? You're
mate, we were at the weekend. What's called Bunfire. I'm going to send you the pictures and the videos.
Yeah.
What happens is we're in the back blocks of northeast Thailand. So you've got all the dancing troops on the Saturday, and then on Sunday today they let these skyrockets off, these 20-meter skyrockets off into the stratosphere, and these big circular ones, and there's dancing girls, there's bands, I'll send you the videos, mate. You'll laugh your guts out because they call me Gimmers up here. I'll tell you what, I was full on into it. I got amongst it fairly well. You'll piss yourself laughing. You got to remember, if you ever come to Thailand in May, look for what's called Bunfire. It's called the Rocket Festival. Mate, we put NASA to shame. This is just nuts. These things come, these 20-meter skyrockets go off. It looks like there's space shuttle taking off. It's dead set. And they come down, they hit houses, they hit cars, they hit buffaloes. It's mental. It's off the dial. This is true freedom up here, mate. They can just do anything they want.
Mate,
they give a shit. It's hilarious. And it's just a massive party. So I'm trying to get back because we're up the village. I come back to Con Ken here. We're at the marina now. I've got the girls here and everything's happening. So to get on fan cams, watch the end of the footy. But no, the footy was okay. We're going okay, mate. We'll be there. Look,
we'll chip away.
Bottom four's looking good. No worries. TDK, we get rid of TDK, we get a compensation pick. So, happy days, Hawthorn.
Jeff, love your work, my friend.
Thank you very much, everybody. Baggers, stay with it. Support Tez and Pom and Rocco and the boys. Jumper punch. Let's keep it going. We're there. We'll be up there. Might not be this year, but we're getting there. Get those young blokes in. Get Lemmy in. Come on, let's have a look at him.
Go Blues. See you, mate.
Cheers. Go Blues.
Oh, dear oh me. Aiden?
Yes.
Oh. You
Can
there?
you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's the story, mate?
Why am I'm so angry over that win. That was so ugly. I don't know what everyone else has said, but yeah, it's the same story, isn't it? Throughout the whole year, we play a good quarter, and then we drop off. I don't know why, but I don't know if there's disconnect between coaches and players, or if some of the players can't be bothered with what they're getting asked to do, and they're just relying on themselves to, drag us over the line. But yeah, we weren't really that good today. Like, honestly, if that was a Collingwood, then they would have won by 10 plus goals. Like,
what about if it was like Brisbane?
Sorry?
What if it was like a Brisbane?
Like how Essendon played against Brisbane last week?
No, I said, what if it was like a Brisbane? Do you reckon that they would have won by more?
Oh, yeah. Personally, I do think, yeah. But even though Brisbane won by, less than 12 points last week, they had the 5-day break. If they had the same break that we did, I feel like they would have put them on the sword. But, yeah, I don't know, really. I said to you earlier today that this game doesn't really fill me with a lot of confidence, and it didn't at all tonight. But we got the win, and that's what matters. But it's just really frustrating as to how we played after the first quarter, because it's the same story, and I don't know why. See, I don't know if what happened with Cripps and Voss? Did Cripps not listen to what Voss said at 3/4 time or something like that, or like I don't know.
Okay, so I don't know because I haven't watched it with my own eyes. I haven't heard it from myself. I don't know the context of how the comment was said. So I don't want to take something out of context and blow it up into something that it's not. Long story short, Cripps made a captain's call to go forward. That's what happened. I don't think there's anything out of the ordinary. I don't, like I said, I haven't heard it. I haven't watched any post game stuff. We'll all watch it maybe after the fan cams and go from there. Hey, are you driving or is somebody else driving?
Nah, my dad's driving, so I'm not driving. Okay. Don't worry.
All good.
Yeah,
all good. Look.
Yeah, go on.
What's that?
No, you said something. What was that? Sorry.
No, I said, look, you said you would be angry earlier today, no matter what. So you're a bit angry. I don't think you're angry at tonight. I think you're just angry at what's happened all year, which I think a lot of people are.
I'm not angry that I'm probably contradicting myself. I'm not angry that we won, but it's the manner as to how we did win it. Because if Essendon had, I think, majority of their players back, then I don't think we win that, honestly. So, the next 2 weeks won't be easy, and especially the week after that. So, I don't know. I don't know what this win means. We could go on a 10-game winning run, make a prelim or a grand final, but I highly doubt it. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess next week won't be any easier because no matter what happens with the result, it either won't be enough or it was only West Coast. So we're back to that.
Yeah. I'll just say, just win. Who cares? Just win at this point. So, anyway.
All right, man.
We'll
Good
talk
stuff.
to you. All right. See ya.
Go Blue. See you, man. All righty. Dolan. Hey, man.
Oh, that's a shocking angle. I could not see the. That's horrible. How are you, Tess?
Mate, I'm good. I'm trucking along. Like I said earlier,
not bad.
Yeah, I'm just happy that this isn't a loss.
Yeah, fuck, it would be rough. It would be rough. But here we are, 4 points the better. So
what do you think? What was your experience tonight?
Well, funnily enough, I was in the members section at the G, so I was right down at the sidelines, which was quite good. It's weird being that close. You know what I mean? Like you see a lot more than you usually would. You see all the efforts or the lack of efforts really that you want to be seeing. It's just the little things, it's just the little things like TDK being off the ball when it's obvious that he can get in there and he's got plenty of time to get in there, but just doesn't do it. But other than that, it was a great night to like get up over the Bombers. You can't be mad about that. Like no matter how
I
bad
feel
we
like,
are.
yeah, I reckon that was almost forgotten about earlier today. We did the game day stream and obviously doing the show tonight. Like we're so focused on how frustrated we are with Carlton that we've forgotten how important it also is to beat the rivals in the rivalry game. Like that's important.
Absolutely.
You know, the Bombers.
If anything, it's more important at the end of the day because we know that we're not the best team in the competition. We know that we're probably not going to get the flag, so we take the little wins, and the little wins turn out to be big wins when we can beat clubs like Essendon.
It's just weird because a lot of people spoke about, well, the Bombers, they showed fight against the Lions at the Gabba last week, even though they were undermanned. So they showed fight tonight against us. So
exactly.
It's like
They're not a bad
conditional when
side.
we want the opposition to be a bad opposition. It's like, oh, when they play Carlton, we should be beating them by this much. But when they show fight against the Lions at the Gabba, who granted came off a 5-day break, it's like our respect for the opposition is conditional.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same squad that was out there. Like, can't look down on them. Once again, what's your 3 positives for this game?
We won.
Yeah, fucking oath. Hell yeah.
Jack Silvani.
Ken Oath.
And Cooper Lord.
Hell yeah. Jack Silvani is huge. Being that close to the ground and actually seeing how much effort he puts in is unbelievable. He does everything for that fucking team. He does absolutely everything he can. And the glove is tough. The glove is very, very tough.
He is. There's an echo coming from my audio when I speak to you. Is
this better?
I think so.
I was just holding the phone like an idiot.
Oh,
Sorry.
that's way better.
Sorry about that. Sorry, everyone watching.
But yeah, what about you? What were your 3 positives?
Well, it's my brother's birthday today. So
happy birthday, bro.
It's pretty incredible. That's 4 games in a row now that we've won on his birthday, which is pretty good. So 8th of June, pencil that in for next year. We've got it in the bag, no matter who we play. I hope so. Fuck, I can't say that now, and then we lose next year. God damn it. But yeah, so Jack Silvani would absolutely be another huge, huge positive for me. And tossing up between Matt Carroll and Harry O'Keefe, they were both incredible. Seeing some of fucking O'Keefe's marks right in front of me was unbelievably nice. He's a big boy. He's a very, very big boy. He's going to do very well for us.
He is.
Very excited.
Yep. What's planned for your evening, mate? Is this the end of
the
your evening?
Just chilling out now, watching you guys.
Cool.
I'm moving back to Perth, which is going to be sick. A bit warmer over there, so that'll be nice. Yeah, going back to Perth, and yeah, that's all. Shout out to the Two Blues from Tasmania. Go the Two Blues.
Mate, thanks for calling in.
Hell yeah. Cheers, Tez. Thanks for having me. Have a good night, everybody.
Sam.
Hey, bro. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing?
Yeah, doing all right, bro. Just good win, as in good to beat the Bombers.
Yeah.
That's the main thing, and to get the win on the board. But yeah, I don't know. It's a hard watch, man. It's a hard watch. I'm trying to be positive, but
yeah,
got to take the positives, and I don't know. It's tough. It's tough.
Where are you in your belief of the team in what they can do in 2025 compared to just looking ahead to the future? Like, do you still believe about something that can happen this year?
Yeah, I think you can't write the year away. You can't just say, oh, like they're not gonna do anything, because they can. Like, you can't just say that, because we on our day we can beat anyone, and that's true. I think if you get too focused on the outcome, so making finals or whatever, it just kind of you're not actually looking at each week to week. Like, you're just thinking, oh, we need to get to the finals. It's like, let's just focus on each quarter against each side that we play. And I feel like that's something we were doing a lot kind of last year, earlier on in the year, and it kind of just fell away a bit towards the end of the year last year. And I was looking at the first quarter tonight, and I was like, wow, this is good. Like, we looked really composed, super composed, lowering our eyes. Cripps hit Williams up. I saw like even Akers, he looked to go and bomb the ball, and he's like, nah, let's just lower the eyes. Same with Hewitt, did it a few times. It's just frustrating to see that they can't do it consistently. So they can do it. You can see that they tried to do that in the first quarter, and then we start to bomb the ball long again, and then just capitulate too quickly. And it's just like, I feel like we just need to stay present in the moment and be like, hey, we're actually 5 goals up. Like, we don't need to shit ourselves here. Like, manage the game properly, and we're up by 5 goals at halftime. If you just hold that lead into the 3-quarter time, or just focus on winning that quarter, the game is basically put to bed. Like, you're 5-6 goals up. And it's just frustrating that we don't have that maturity yet as a team. Like, we've got it in patches against poorer sides like West Coast and North. But yeah, it's disappointing to see that we can't do it against a bit of a team a little bit higher, such as Essendon, who aren't amazing. But yeah, I don't know.
It's also interesting.
We can't do anything this year. Like, we've literally proved that we can do something 2 years ago. I think let's just focus on week to week, or quarter to quarter even.
Yeah, I think that's important. I mean, look, reality is this: tonight and for the next 3 to 4 weeks, we're going to be going into each of those games as probably the favorite. I don't know what will happen against Port in Adelaide. So that expectation will be there. Like, the next 2 weeks in particular, it's going to be that classic case of, if you don't win by enough, well, we're going to have the reaction tonight. Oh, you didn't beat this team by enough. And then if you win by too much, it's
only West Coast.
Hey, it's only West Coast, only papering over the cracks. Like, the method doesn't matter. So that's kind of what's ahead of us. And that kind of takes away.
Yeah. It's kind of just being, you know what your task is. Like, the players know what their roles are. Just go out there and do it to the best of your ability. If you're too hyper focused on kind of stuffing up in a way, like, I feel like that's sometimes what they are. They get too cagey in a way, the boys. Like, they just need to focus on winning and getting the ball, and like, they know what they can. Sorry, I'm getting confused here. They know what they have to do in moments such as the first quarter, and then they kind of lose that focus towards the end of the game. And it's just, it's frustrating. It's kind of just like, stay in the moment, because they can do it and they're just not doing it for long enough. So I guess you just got to take it week by week. Like, we can beat North, West Coast, Port, all those sides 100%, but you can't get too focused on, we need to get 3 in a row. Just focus on the first quarter against West Coast next week.
First quarter against West Coast next week. Away, such a long break. So what's that? We've had a 15-day break right now, and then we've got an 8-day break until next Sunday, and that's a night game as well. So no excuses.
There's no excuses at all. Like, the time is now to do it. Time is now. Like, we can't keep waiting. Boys are just getting older. Like, Charlie's 28, Cripps is 30. Like, the time is now to do it. And they've just got to embrace that, I think. And I saw moments of like that tonight. I saw Kerno and Motlop getting around each other. Like, I could see the chemistry between the boys. But yeah, it's just being locked in for long enough. I think, like, just little moments. Like, we did so well in a nice little passage along the members' wing. Might have been in the 3rd, I think, and then Chara just missed that final kick inside 50. And it's just like, oh my God. And then in the last quarter, Will White is trying to do, like, I know what he's trying to do. He gets kick smothered and they go down the other end and kick the goal. Moments.
Oh, like, man, some of the Bombers' goals tonight, I'm just going to put it out there. Like, some of their goals, like the tenacity of some of their goals.
They
like,
kick the ball off the ground.
Off the ground, lace out. Yeah, man. So
That's
Yeah,
the
they
front.
got
Yeah. Look at
they got the rub
their-
on the green,
and
on those.
they kicked straight as well. So
Yeah,
we should have won by a lot more, but we didn't at the end of the day. And you can't always get everything your way, but we need to try and win those games by more in the future. Obviously, we can't go back and change today's game, but in the future, you got to be able to manage those moments a bit better, because even we're up by 4 goals.
Yeah,
Midway through that last quarter, and it's like Motlop could have put the game away, but you got to move on. And I feel like even us as supporters were like, oh my god, Motlop, and it's like you got to move on. You can't go back and take the kick again. So
yeah,
man,
mate, love your work. Good stuff.
love your
Thanks for
work too,
calling in.
bro. No worries. Enjoy your night.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Love it. Beachy.
I should be satisfied with tonight's win over that club, but I'm not. We had a 6-goal first quarter and almost hammered it back to them. Something needs to happen behind the scenes. I don't know what, but yeah.
I mean, they're going to be reviewing that game. I think this is one of those games where, thank goodness we won. And at the same time, I hope that they review it as heavy as they would as if it was a loss. Because,
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, they're so close from putting that game into the stratosphere. Like, so close the way that they had it.
Exactly. Like, how often are you going to kick a 6-goal first quarter and then, you're going to get everyone thinking, right, we've rocked up, we're switched on, we're ready to go, we're going to put the foot down and we're going to put these guys away, only for the reverse to happen and they almost snatch it off you.
Yep. Thank goodness we aren't sitting here after an Essendon win. Oh my goodness. Like, it's pretty angry after a Carlton win. I'm just going to put it out there. There's there's an unconvincing feeling about the win and there's a frustration because of that. Oh, wow. If we had a loss tonight.
Exactly. I mean, I looked at the score, right? We had 23 scoring shots to 15. Okay, 23 to 15. We should have been winning by more, but of course, people are going to be telling me, "Oh, you're being picky. You're being picky." No, I'm not. I'm being realistic as much as I can here. We had ample opportunity to put them away, and despite the fact that they had every kick off the ground, hit a target to get a goal, give us a spell, mate. Come on.
So next week, Eagles away. Like, we're going to, hopefully win that one. Like, all of a sudden.
Is it a bad time for me to tell you that I'm flying over?
You're flying over? Fair play.
I'm flying over. I'm flying over Friday, flying back the Monday morning, because last time I did this, it was a red-eye flight, and I was pretty much a zombie the last time it happened. So we thought, no, we're being proper about this.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're going to go over, enjoy the weekend, and see what we think is going to be an easy game. But after tonight, not even that's guaranteed, despite the fact that West Coast kicked 0-7 to start the game against North Melbourne today.
Well, mate, let's enjoy this week because you just never know what's around the corner.
Exactly. Before I go, what did you think of HUD? O'Keefe?
Yeah, I thought it was okay. Thought it was a nice showing. It's good. It's good to see his development, and it's good to see him come up to play at the level and not look completely out of place And I think it speaks to the development. I mean, that's a bit of a topic around Carlton that gets criticised a lot, and fair enough. I like the approach with him. He's worked his way into it. It's been a slow burn. Big fella. They take time. I was pleased with the way he moved his body tonight, and I reckon, there's something there. There's something to work with.
No, exactly. I believe that's correct. I was actually looking at some stats. He had 5 contested marks, which was a game high. So clearly, the contested game he's worked on. If there are people around him that can, learn off him or absorb that off him, then we're already going in the right direction.
Mate, I just hope that we can catch a vibe this year and ride something.
Well, I tell you what, mate, we need to start doing that now, because time's running short, especially with this list that we have. I mean, Charlie's 28, Winners is getting on, Cripps is getting on, Walsh is getting on, Piconing's getting there himself. That's the spine there. That's the spine there in my hand. If we can't do something with this, then we're never going to do something with it.
Yeah. It's a good point. All right, mate. I'm going to let you go.
All good.
Go Blues.
Go Blues.
Only Carlton.
What's up, bro?
Maccas love it with the neon light, bro.
This is my only light, by the way. It's like in my car. So if it's a shit lighting, I apologize.
Mate.
I've been listening for the last 30 minutes or so. Everyone's been pretty negative. I'm really happy. I don't know about you. I was at the game. I hate Essendon. I hate them more than I hate the Pies. So getting that close win over them was, bro. It's the happiest I've been all season. Actually, the Geelong game was the happiest, and I was there as well. But look, I know it's an ugly game. I know we faded out. It reminded me a lot of the Richmond game, where we led by so much in the first quarter, and we were slowly fading. But this time we actually did something in the last quarter, thankfully. But yeah, overall, man, I'm happy. It's a step in the right direction. I know we still faded, but we still made somewhat an effort in the fourth quarter. Sorry.
Yeah.
Second and third quarter was terrible. Sorry, go on.
Do you remember? So Jesse Motlop's second goal, where McGovern kicked it. I think he tried to kick it to Charlie Curnow, but it was a bit of a missed kick, and the ball kind of went in between Motlop and Curnow, and Motlop ended up marking.
Yeah, and he juggled it over. Yeah.
So when that happened, do you remember 2 years ago the kick that Jack Silvani kicked into the 50, and it was between Curnow and Owies, and it just went nowhere?
Yeah, over them. Yeah. I made a video about it. Yeah, I remember.
So when that moment happened tonight, I had deja vu instantly. I'm like, oh my goodness, I remember that kick. But this time around, Jesse was able to make the kick look better than what it was. And I don't know, I thought there was a little something in that.
That has to be a sign, right? When was that? 2023, yeah?
2 years ago on this day.
We're winning the flag. We're making it prelim again. Signs. I don't know if I'm delusional. I'm just really happy. I'll probably wake up tomorrow and, have clarity. But right now, I'm over the moon, bro. Jesse Motlop as well. I want it me because it's mainly been me hating on him, especially on social media. He didn't have the best game, right? But he had a game better than he's had most of the season. The North game was good, but that was garbage time stats. I didn't rate that. Kicked all his goals in the fourth quarter. This game, he was impactful. I'm pretty sure he had 2 goal assists, 7 score involvements, kicked 2 goals of himself.
5
he had
tackles.
A good game. Yeah. Honestly, and he was there. He missed that shot in the third or fourth when he was 30 meters out. But other than that, bro, he was actually hectic. He was sick. I was sitting in front of him as well when he kicked that goal, that juggled mark. That was clutch as well. Oh, I don't know. Again, it was a scrappy game, whatever, but I feel like this is a stepping stone. All we need is wins. Once we get momentum, because I feel like we're a really momentum-heavy team where we get on a roll, we don't lose.
Yeah. Well,
so this game was important.
Well, that's the thing about this next month, why it's so important. I mean, a lot of us are looking very far ahead. A lot of us are looking already at Graham Wright off season, who's he sacking, trading players. Like, we're not trading anyone until October. So why are we even entertaining the thought? Like I don't get it.
Look,
So,
some
but
people
whatever.
are really angry, still angry about the rest of
Which
the season.
I also
like,
understand.
Yeah.
I also understand the anger because I'm also pretty pissed off with what's happened. Like, I'm still pissed off that I saw old mate's dick in January, but like, whatever. So there's that. But like, the reality is none of these changes are happening until October. So like, just park it. You know?
And this season isn't over either. Like, it's not fully written off. Like, I don't know. Again, I might be delusional, but until we're mathematically not a chance for finals, I'm not writing off anything. I'm not going to be like, start tanking, go for picks, think about next year. Nah, bro, this season's still here. We have an easy 4 games or 3 games. Who do we have in our next 3? We have North,
West Coast, North,
Coast.
Port.
Yeah, we should win those 3. Realistically, the Port game might be a bit hard depending on what their form is at Adelaide Oval. But if we win those 4, we're winning against the Pies, then we might as well win against Brisbane. Like, if we're already winning.
Oh dear. We may as well win against. I'm telling you, if we win 4 in a row, and then I think that's the perfect scenario to maybe beat Collingwood. Like, I mean, we're going to get there first, 1 quarter at a time, but that is when I believe things might start turning from a supporter base jumping back on point of view.
Yeah. And it sucks as well because the next 3 weeks doesn't really prove a lot to a lot of supporters, like probably myself as well. But because if we win against West Coast, it'll be, it's only West Coast. North, it's only North. But like, we can only beat who's in front of us. We need, like, you know what I mean? If we lose to these teams, then you guys suck. But if you win, you guys suck anyways. Like, I get it. I'm still angry about the last 12 weeks as well. This is the most upset I've been over a season. Even back in 2023, I wasn't this upset over the start of the season.
Right.
But I don't know, man. I feel like this win changed something. I feel like this was a turning point. Because we came under adversity in the 4th. Like, they were coming. They kicked. I don't know who kicked that goal. I think Xavier Dersma. He kicked it in the pocket right in front of me as well. The cunt.
Oh, the mark. Oh my goodness.
That was
trauma.
a block, by the way. That was a block. Merritt blocked whoever that was. I think Silvani. I let the umpire know. I let him know. But yeah, I had this Bombers supporter next to me, the most obnoxious person you'll ever meet in your life. He left early, and I made sure I let him know he's leaving early. I told him, enjoy the train ride home, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He started arcing up to me. Bro, he's like 35. Relax, bro. I'm 19. You're going home early. It's not my fault.
I love it. Mate.
How do you feel about the game?
It was a painful watch. It was a painful win. But I said earlier, I'm just more relieved that we didn't lose. Because I think that the reaction to the win has been pretty intense. So I can only imagine what a loss would have been. So, yeah. I mean, I'm not reading too far into it. It's just got to be 1 week at a time. I'm rolling with it. I'm trying to be as fluid as possible week to week. Yeah, so I mean, on to the next, you know.
That's it. A win's a win. Beggars can't be choosers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
We only have 4 for the season, so.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
It's a weird one, man, because I know change is coming, and so win or lose, no matter what happens, I know that change is coming. So yeah, it's been a really frustrating season for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One more thing quickly before I dip. That game was really, I like that game because our leaders they weren't there. Kerno kicked 2 in the first quarter and ghosted. Like I said when I talked to you earlier in the day, I wasn't happy with that. But you had like Motlop kicking 2. You had McGovern, he kicked a goal in the first. It wasn't impressive. But we had a lot of those smaller players that didn't, that don't usually impact, that impacted. I can't think of like names off the top of my head. DeConing, who's had an off 3 or 4 weeks, was really good. I know his kicking efficiency isn't the best, but I mean, he's a ruckman. What do you expect? You know what I mean? He still had those 10 score involvements. He had more hit outs. We had 30 touches, whatever, but he's still getting involved. A lot of ruckmen don't do that.
Mm.
You know what I mean? He won the taps and he won around the ground. I know it's Todd Goldstein. He's like 47, but look again. This is just building. I want to see us winning and winning and winning. And then once we start rolling, we don't lose. We don't lose.
I love it, mate. Thanks for calling in. Enjoy the rest of your night.
Thank you for that.
Ben.
Hey, mate. How are you?
I'm good. How are you? What are we? Wow, it's 1 a.m.
It's 1 a.m.
You know, one day when there's no more fan cams, no more Blue Abroad, we'll look back on these nights and we'll be like, fuck. Remember the times we used to stay up till 1 a.m. talking about an 8-point win against the Bombers?
Yep. Fucking hell. Oh, my God. The one thing that no one's brought up tonight, because I understand not everyone went to the ground. What the fuck are we doing showing Bomber highlights to rev up the game?
Oh.
That was fucking disgusting. I wanted to leave. I wanted to leave before the game. I thought we were fucked.
I don't understand how some of these ideas come to life. Also, am I being a hater? But just be honest with me, and I can take criticism. If I'm just being a hater, just tell me.
Yeah.
Freddie Mercury, it's got to go. It's got to go.
I hate it.
It ain't it. It's not it.
No, I hate it. It is
Tell
so
me if
bad.
I'm being negative, and tell me if I need to shut the fuck up.
No, look, I think I agree, and from what I see in the crowd, I think it's a lot of the same. There's not a lot of reaction to it anymore. It was a thing for 1 or 2 games when it first started, but far out. Our entertainment is shocking. I don't know how.
I will tell you this as well. I tell you what I liked about the pregame. Did you hear the Gangsters Paradise mix that they played?
Yes.
I know exactly where they got that from. So I know that they're watching. I know that they're watching. But it's like, dude, Seven Nation Army is a great track. Just start with that. Like,
yeah.
Get the cheer squad involved. I'll start the clapping with the drums. Like, oh man, the screeching sound pregame. It like rattles me, man.
It does. Yeah, it does the same to me. I can't deal with it. But yeah, showing Essendon fucking highlights at a home game. Fuck me. Oh, if that was Collingwood, they're our rivals still. Why the fuck are you showing opposition's highlights to rev up the game?
Fascinating.
So yeah, look, I'm glad we got the win in the end. Yes, it was scrap fest. It was shit, but as a big Jesse Motlop supporter, I was very relieved that he finally had a game, got off the hook. Only disappointed that he didn't kick that goal late. He could have kicked 4 if he didn't handball to Conning and took back the trip. But I thought he was really good tonight. And the one thing I want to ask you about, because I know you spoke about it a few weeks ago, I can't for the life of me understand what's going on with Sard. Every game, he has one direct goal or goal assist at the start every quarter, and you don't see him for the rest of the game do it. Runs through the middle of the guts, takes it on, and it doesn't happen again. I don't know if you can see something that I don't, but I just don't know what happens.
I'm seeing the same thing. I'm seeing when he runs directly in a straight line, good things happen.
Yep.
And then I'm just also seeing I don't know if this is a Sard problem or his teammates putting Sard in the position of danger.
Correct.
So again, I don't know whose fault it is. I'm just going to say it's everyone's fault.
Yeah.
But he is just becoming a hack kick because he's under pressure and he's not in good positions. And it's so frustrating because I know, I think I know that he can provide some composure with ball in hand and pick a teammate to kick the ball to and hit the 45. Like I know he's got that in him. He can break the lines. He's got all these attributes, and it's like he's becoming like a hack kick. It's weird.
He is. It was bad in the first and the second quarter.
Yeah.
It was in the back pocket. Like again, he's under pressure, but we do the fucking woof, and then he kicks it right 2 meters outside 50 and it's intercept mark. And it's like, fuck me. Like, again, some of it's not his fault. He's under pressure and he's got to get it out. But it's frustrating. And the one last point I want to quickly touch on you with is Blake Acres. I don't feel like he's ready, like fit. Like, I feel like he's got no confidence in his shoulder, because in the third quarter, when they had a bit of momentum going and it was Sam Durham at the top of the 50, I was standing right behind Blake Acres. He could have lined Durham up, and all he had to do was hip and shoulder. He didn't have to dog shot him or anything. He just had to take the body, and then he stood there corralled. Durham just fended him off, and they kicked the point, I think, in the end, but far out. I just don't think he has any confidence in his shoulder.
Yeah. Nah, yeah, Akers is, I don't know. I'm curious about the ratings tomorrow to see how that looks.
Yeah.
And see how that comes up. But oh man. So he did the whole handball thing twice. He burnt, I think it was Doc in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then I don't know who he burnt in the third quarter, whatever it was, mate. The bay around me erupted.
Same.
Screaming at him, get him off.
I was in the members, and the members were going fucking
Oh
nuts.
mate, can't cop it, man. Senior player, gotta be better.
Yeah, especially for someone that old. I can chop it if it was a Jackson Bins, and you still can't cop it, but you can at least semi understand a young player. But fuck.
But you know what? Like, and then he kicks the goal, and you're like,
that's the worst thing. Like, my old man sent me a text message like, "This is one of the worst games I've seen Blake Acres play." I'm like, "Yep, I agree. I think he's been shocking." And then he kicks that shit, and you just, drives you mad. Can't explain it. So,
you know what though? When it's all said and done, mate, he's already paid his contract forever.
Yep.
So
never forget Blake Acres. Might forget Jesse Motlop. Might forget even Sam Walsh. Will never ever forget Blake Acres. So yeah.
Anyway,
no. Thanks.
Are you optimistic about what can happen still, or are you just protecting yourself? You don't want to get too.
I'm definitely optimistic. I know the door's still open. Again, this was one we needed, so
yeah,
it's still slightly open. I mean, I remember 2023, the guy before us just made me reminded me. Leading into Collingwood last year, 2023, leading in, we had the Port game and we beat them by about 70 points, and it was sort of like, oh well, don't know, Port was semi shit, like rah rah. But we also played Gold Coast and Hawthorn that were crap at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like, I feel like the next 3 weeks, as you said, 4 weeks, could be a good building block to have a good, strong finish towards the year. But before that, I wasn't really optimistic, so changed about 15 minutes ago.
Hey, man, I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to write it in here. Carlton.
Yep, absolutely.
Carlton.
Yep. No, awesome.
All right, Ben.
Thanks.
You have a great night, my friend.
You too. Cheers, man.
See ya. Fucking love Ben. Sayaf, $30. Blew the back, baby. Yes, sir. So Sayaf and I sat together. Quarter time. I was talking all sorts of rubbish. I was like, man, imagine we beat this team by 100 points. How good would that be? So yeah. And I think therein lies the problem. We get way too I get way too excited way too quickly, and we just start assuming things into the future. Like, even when it's bad, it can be as bad as possible. When it's good, it can be as good as possible. I don't know. All right, moving right along. Let's go with Mason.
Tez, how are we?
Mate, we are good. How are you?
Good. It's getting late. I commend you for doing this. This is, like you said with the other guy, we're going to look back at this and go, what the fuck are we doing at 1 o'clock in the morning?
One day. These are the peak times, and I know it, and I think we need to embrace them.
Well, look, you got the real, you got the real supporters that stay up and talk to you at this time of the hour.
Mate, the gremlins, the real rusted-ons, staying up until 1 o'clock in the morning.
The freaks, the delusionals.
Yeah.
That's what we are. That's what we are.
Yeah.
Look, 4 points. 4 points. Angry for me is not the right word.
Right.
It's not. I'm kind of emotionless. I just like we're just the same Carlton team that we always are. That's just the way it is. Just tonight was no different to the last 12 weeks. We're just lucky we had a good start. That's all it is. We're just lucky we had a good start.
Yeah. Well, I think that was the issue against Sydney, maybe.
Yeah.
Dominated the play, didn't take advantage of the dominance on the scoreboard. Whereas tonight, we did take advantage on the scoreboard. We probably let one or two go that should have kicked, but whatever. 6 goals. I think it was 6 goals, 5, or whatever it was. So, yeah.
If we just continued, 75% of that pace for that game, we could have punished them, and that would have been like acceptable. Tonight was not acceptable. It is not the standard that we should be playing for a side like them right now. Sorry. We should have lost tonight. We should have. They should have They should have came back and slapped us in the face and said, you know what? You're underperforming, because a full Essendon team, let's say they had Langford. If they had Langford, just alone, Langford would have kicked those, kicked the goal, 2 goals. That's the game. They had a Mackay. They had, a few of their starting players in that team to shut down Akers. Because, I mean, he didn't really have that much of an impact. But just like these players that aren't picking up the pieces properly, a full Essendon side would have absolutely just nullified us. They would have silenced us tonight. So, look, I think we're lucky with the start that we had, because we should have been put to bed in the third. That's it. Done. See you later.
I just find that really interesting, because I think we pick and choose when we want to rate Essendon. So early in the game, Essendon are fucking shit. Look at what we've done to them. Then we're lauding their spirit and their fight and their heart, and now we're saying if they were full strength, they would have beaten us. So we keep on living in this hypothetical. Oh, if this happened, and like, oh, if only they kick straight, or if that. But like, we very rarely want to just live in what did happen, and that is we won the game.
Well, look, I'm more looking at the fact that I'm not looking at Essendon. I'm looking at us. I'm really just looking at our performance. Essendon, going into this game, the one thing I said about Essendon side tonight is if they play like they played against Brisbane at the end of their game, they'll fucking kill us, because they were over there too. They were playing at Brisbane's. They were playing at the Gabba. They did that to them at the Gabba, right?
Yeah.
They nearly got them. And I said to all the people that I went with tonight, I said, if they play like that from the first quarter, we've got no chance, because we shit the bed. We shit the bed when we're in the lead by 40 points like we did tonight. We shit the bed, right? So, look, we take the 4 points. We celebrate these little wins. Scully was good. You know what? O'Farrell and O'Keefe, mate, these are 2 debutants that you tip your hat to, mate. You come out, confidence. You did what you needed to do. You're a first gamer. Fantastic. These kids are great. Unreal.
True. I think that's an interesting point as well. Of all the kids that I've seen, O'Farrell, yep, I like that. I think we can all say there's something there.
Yeah.
O'Keefe, love to see that he came to the level and showed that he can handle it. I think Matt Carroll has showed that he can handle it at the level, and he still needs some development. I think Binzi showed signs that he can handle it at the level. I think he's still got some ways to go. I think out of all the kids that I've seen, probably Ashton is the only one that I've watched and I thought, oh, you're pretty far off.
You might not be there just yet. You might not be. Look, and you know what? You can't expect too much from them, but they, like you said, those boys they've put their hand up and they've played their part. They've played their part. You don't expect much from the first gamers and the debutants of the year. You just can't. You can't put the pressure on them. But some of these boys are standing up and putting up a fight. So, like, fair play to them. Talk to me.
Ben Camporelli, as we were saying over the last few weeks, just let him cook.
Get him in.
Starting
what's
to cook.
the harm?
So my question is, he cooked today. He was very good
Mhm.
today.
Yep.
I mean, who in the midfield? I mean, he's playing in the midfield. So keep in mind,
Mhm.
he's playing in the midfield. So if you want to play him in the ones, the ideal position would be in the midfield, right? So how do we get Ben Camporelli a game? Or do we just wait it out?
Do we send Blake Acres to the doctors, and do we get that shoulder checked, and do we ask him a serious question? Blake, can you take a week off, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, play a game or play a couple games in the VFL, play light, even don't play, even just make sure that you can get your shoulder to a place where you can get these bumps in, play a solid game of football, because like the previous guy said before, he's not going in for those bumps. They're key bumps. Like, he's shying away from tackles. He's moving away from hardball. Ground ball gets, he's kind of just smacking the ball away into traffic. And are you good? Because
Well,
we
his
know,
shoulders are fucked. We know that.
Yeah,
We know that.
and that's the question. Is a little bit of time off going to do anything?
It won't.
Probably not. Probably
It
not.
won't.
Right?
His shoulders were also fucked in 2023 in that final series as well.
I remember I popped out like 3 times, went back in, popped it back out, ran back on the field. Yeah, I know. I don't know. It's so hard, Terry. It's so hard. You can't, because then you start pushing our forwards into the mid, and you mess the system up.
He just had a week off, by the way.
He did.
We gave him the week off against. Did he come in this week or last week?
No, I think
he came out against the Giants. He didn't play the Giants game. I don't.
No, I don't think so. So maybe
We definitely gave him a week off. I'm sure of it. I'm sure we gave him a week off. Maybe he didn't play the Sydney game. Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. Who do you what do you do? What do you think?
For Akers?
No, I'm saying for Ben. For Ben. Who would you move around for Ben?
I'd just keep letting him cook until one of Walsh, Chera, Hewitt. Oh, if Cripps needs a rest next week, then you do it.
You know what? Good game to do it.
Mm.
West Coast, maybe the game to give Cripper. I don't know. Does Cripper need a rest? Does Walsh need a rest over Cripper?
Maybe.
These are the questions not sure of. I don't know. It's.
It would be pretty cool. I mean, they've just had a rest, to be fair. They just had the bye. So,
Maybe against the Kangas. Maybe. I'm with you on the Queen at the start. That's it's getting a bit old. It's getting a bit, yeah. You know what they should walk out to? You know what would G the crowd up? And it makes perfect fucking sense. Imagine these dickheads walked out to Highway to Hell, because they're putting us through some fucking bullshit at the moment. Imagine that. It comes out and the whole crowd just goes fucking spastic. Imagine that. Makes sense. Switch it up and don't play Essendon for highlights. I'm with the last guy. Don't do that. That's stupid.
That was weird.
Don't do that. Get Fev on there. Just put a compilation of Fev. Just put Fev on there. G everyone up.
Yeah. Mate.
Tez.
Love your work.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for doing this. We appreciate ya.
All good. Go
I'll
Blues.
be back on next week. Go Blues.
All right. Got a couple more. Lewis and Tolls. Lewis. Let's talk, mate. Here we go.
Okay. Look, I hate Essendon. I can't stand them. They piss me off. I'm glad we beat the scum. Thank the Lord. I don't care if it's 8 points, even a 1 point game, or the way we just won now. I'm just happy we beat Essendon. Saying that, I liked Savani's game. He looked phenomenal at the back. I think we found his position. Jesse Motlock looked great. He played one of his best games. I felt like Sam Welsh was also good in some areas. For me, Sam Welsh needs to work on his defensive game. He doesn't. He plays well offensively, but then defensively, there's nothing that I'm feeling like he's going to be that type of player. Like, he's not defending like a star. Look, I get that, when he plays, it's about him getting the ball and distributing it and, accumulating it. But I feel like he needs to work on his defensive game in the midfield. And, like, it's not that I am discrediting him with his performance. I'm just feeling like he needs to work on that probably a little bit more. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say here.
What were some of the examples that you saw of him not defending?
Not only that in this game, I've seen so many times, like, he's not on his man. Like, sometimes I see him not on his man, and he's not really committed. Like, when like someone gets the ball, like the other team in a stoppage, right? Sam Welsh, like, let's pretend he's going up against Nick Dacos here. I've seen him do it against Nick Dacos, and it really frustrates me because when you look at Sam Welsh, he does everything right offensively when he gets the ball, but defensively, he doesn't do the right things in the middle of the ground. That's what I'm trying to say here. I'm not really hating on him. I'm just saying that.
No, I get you. I think I know what you're talking about. There have been moments where lapse of concentration. I think I remember the missed tackle against James Jordan against the Swans. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm not.
I get what you're saying.
Look. I get that midfielders are not solid defenders. I get that, but I'm still. I'm just saying. But as it comes to Hudson O'Keefe, I think he played a great game on his debut. I think it looked solid. I think he looked great. It's just like in the first quarter and the first half, our kick inside for 50. It looked like it's fixed. It was like it was fixed, but they need to address the second half fade outs. The fade outs has been the most problem in this game. When Essendon were coming back, right, in the third quarter, I legit said, I used to love this club. I used to love this club with everything in my heart. Now, I said, I hate them with everything I have now. I hate them, what they are doing to me. And I never thought I would say that to Carlton.
You know that they're not doing it to you. You're choosing to allow.
I know that, but you know what? At the end of the day, I know what I'm watching. I'm watching. Look, the reason why I hate them so, like, I hate them kind of when they, make just bad choices, or in the third quarter give a fade out, give away 5 goals, because I love this club so much. I love him, but I hate the fact that they keep on fading out and not putting consistent performances. Look, it's okay to concede 3 goals wrong.
Lewis, stop. This whole thing about hate, get it out of your vocabulary. It's going to poison you, mate. I'm telling you. Cut it out of your.
Look, I'm not trying to hate
mind.
This club.
No, but like the word hate and like the whole thing that you just said there is poison to yourself. So like, it's all good.
You're right.
Mate, it's like you're gonna hurt yourself thinking like that.
Look, you're right, and I think like everyone in the chat is saying Lewis needs to calm down. This is poison. Look, I get it. I'm sorry to everyone.
No. I'm not saying anything about what anyone. No one in the chat is saying that. I'm saying for you.
I know.
It's
I know.
Just
I know. It's just like it happens week after week, and I'm getting sick and tired of it. But look, the boys. Let me tell you something. If we lost today, I'll be very furious. But at the end of the day, I mean, okay, you want me to add some positivity? All right.
No. I just want you to not hurt yourself.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, I really, really want this club to succeed. But the problem is just like sometimes it doesn't feel like they are addressing the problem with Michael Voss, like, you know, not fixing the game plan. Like, look, I love that Patrick Cripps goes forward sometimes, but sometimes he needs more time in the midfield to help his team out. That's what I'm trying to say. Look, here's the thing. At the end of the day, it's a win. A win is a win. You can't do anything about it. But if we want to get on the roll here, we need to beat West Coast and North Melbourne, and don't you dare say that West Coast is going to be an easy win. West Coast is going to be probably a hard win, especially it's in the Perth, and they played against North Melbourne and they almost won, and they'll be very fired up over there. So I'm not going to be overconfident about that. But look, I'm positive that this may be the start. But I'm being realistic here. If it's not, then it's just the way it is. Like, we have to make changes at the end of the year. And look, we don't know if Voss is going to be the man or not when at the end of the year, if he doesn't, step up to the plate. All we know is now is just that it's now or never. We have to take this win and turn it into something of a one. But it's going to be hard to do that because we've seen it before in last year that we are inconsistent when it comes to being fired up. I mean, look, we were second on the ladder last year, then we fell down to eighth.
Perfect example, right? Perfect example. We were not this time last year. We were 9-4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what's the point of being 9-4 this time of the year if you're just going to shit it up the wall and fall out anyway?
But Terry, Collingwood are nearly not. I don't know what Collingwood's record is. I think it's 9-4 as well. But let me tell you something about Collingwood that we do not have. Collingwood play with dare. In this game, Carlton don't play with dare. They shut off. When Peter White kicked that goal in the second quarter, at the end, Carlton went back to its shell. Why are you going back to that shell? Mate, when the game needs to be won, take the game on. Take the game on. Play with dare. Don't ever stop, because at the end of the day, Carlton keeps going back into its shell, and it's becoming like we're so defensive. Stop playing defensive. Sard, go to the midfield. Attack the corridor. Like, it's bad enough the fact that we can see 5 goals, but it's worse that we do not ever play with dare. When in the third quarter, you know what? We're famous for the Premiership quarter. We're famous. We made the Premiership quarter famous. To be honest, now the third quarter's become the faded quarter because that's what we always do, man. It's not good. It's just not good enough.
Right.
I'm sorry, but you know what? I don't care if I'm coming off as toxic. I'm being realistic here. It's just not good enough. If we're 38 points up, I expect Carlton to win by 30 to 40 points. Or 50 at best. Not 8 points. At the end of the day, this is a win. Yes, this is a win. But is it a convincing win? Is it a convincing win that we can go and beat Collingwood? Beat a top 8 team? Nah, man. No. Don't forget. Let me tell you something. Yes, we beat Essendon. And I love being Essendon. But let me tell you something. If we verse Collingwood like that, or if we verse Hawthorn like that, or even Gold Coast Suns here in Melbourne, we're not going to win.
Yeah, but
I'm sorry. I'm being realistic. It's just not good enough.
Lewis, we are talking about if way too much now.
Yeah, but you know what, Jamie? It's becoming a trend. It's becoming a trend, and it's not good enough. And look, at the end of the day,
I don't watch it.
At the end of the day, let's look at the past. Let's look at the past. We absolutely stuffed up.
Okay, we did, mate.
We stuffed up last year.
You're preaching to the
trend.
Mate. You're preaching to the choir. We all know that.
Exactly.
I love it. I love it.
Look. I'm not trying to make everyone just have false hope here. No, I want everyone to be positive that this team can turn it around. I want you to be positive. I want everyone else to be positive. but I'm trying to be like realistic because I've had enough being optimistic about this club. Because at the end of the day, I'm basing on the past and
Okay.
I'm getting sick and tired of it. That's
Lewis?
what I'm trying to say. Done.
Lewis, I love it. It's time for bed.
Yeah, no, yeah. I can oh, great joke, Terry.
It's
Great
time
joke.
for bed, mate.
Okay, another joke. You know why I have no hope?
Why?
Guess where we finished when I was here, when I stayed in Australia without going overseas?
Where?
9th. We finished 9th, mate. That is why there's no optimistic whatsoever.
All right. Well, I will see you when maybe that changes one day. I look forward to it.
You know what, mate? You know one thing that'll never change?
What's that?
This fan cam's going on to 1:33 a.m. and love for Carlton Football Club. That's something that never change.
That is a good point. That is a good point.
I'm not gonna say go. I'm not gonna say it.
Mate, go Blues. Say it.
Go Blues.
Good night, Lewis.
Good night.
See you, bro. Oh, man. All right. Tolls.
Yeah. It's been a long. This has been a long fan cams.
Yeah, man. It's another 3 hours in the bank, you know?
Yep. Yep. But you know, I think I need to bring a bit of positivity to the end of this because I mean a win's a win. Not only is it a win, honestly, just screw a win's a win thing. We beat the fucking Dons. We beat the Dons. Did we think we were going to be able to beat the Dons after going 0-4 at the start of the year?
Can I just add to that? Didn't we expect to not beat them by a lot?
Yeah. Like, what?
Like, we saw and we, yeah, I know that they were decimated, but they still play with that spirit. And I don't know, did anyone expect us to belt Essendon tonight?
I don't know. Who knows? I don't think I did. I mean, I was thinking about the game. I thought probably realistically like an 18-point win, maybe 20 points. If it's a good win, it ended up being a bit closer than that. But it's what it is. But hey, I mean, I think you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to say something that is going to piss everyone off, but I'm going to piss everyone off by saying this, but, can't we just be a bit patient?
I love it.
Like,
oh, I love it. I don't know what I was expecting.
Nah. Honestly, jokes aside, though, I think something that I think I'm starting to realize is I feel like what it seems like is the club is doing a bit of a soft rebuild. I think that's why there's so much calm from the club about a pretty mediocre year. Why we seem to be trying to work with a new game plan that is, for the most part, doing pretty well, but we're just not adjusting well enough to it. We're adjusting slowly to it. And it's also why we're bringing in so many youngsters. I think the club is trying to, the club is trying to. I don't think it was the plan at the start of the year. I think the club was all the way trying to shoot for the moon, but we clearly did not fucking manage that. So they are just trying to, make the most of the year. And that kind of thought, that kind of mindset with us, that kind of mindset has helped me be more patient with the Blues this year.
So there's
But
that
hey,
battle. I get what you're saying. There's that battle in the mind of I'm frustrated because we should be better along this part of the rebuild, yada yada yada, expectations, yada yada yada, like all of that. I just find the ones that are the most angry are the ones that seem to have been seeing this for such a long time. So it's like, shouldn't you be the most calm because you knew that you know what this is? You like these people have seen this assumedly earlier than everyone else.
I think
So it's like, practically speaking, the only time to make the changes that are really going to be made to the list is in October. So it's
Yeah.
like we're
think-
playing the kids.
I think I'm also I'm blessed with a incredibly short attention span.
Okay.
Because if the footy is not going well, it's just out of sight, out of mind for me. Like that's
Yeah.
just me though. That's just me. I'm a one-eyed supporter, and I'm not ashamed of it.
Okay.
But I'm still always here. I'm always on the footy, no matter how we're doing. But yeah, like, what do you think? What do you think of seeing all the youngsters? I think they've been
I love it.
fabulous.
I love it.
We've been. I mean, I think it's we've been getting more hits than misses with the draft, and I'm not just saying that the massive big draft picks that we've gotten. Like, I mean, ignoring Jagger Smith, we'll see next year. I mean, and hopefully even later this year. But all of our mid-round draft picks have been really good. Cooper Lord, he looks like that is a player that people are going to be fucking scared of in 3, 4, 5 years.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. It just I'm liking the look of, no matter how weird and shit it's kind of going at the moment, I'm liking the look of the future of this club still. But yeah, I think no matter where how kind of rough the season's going, you got to stop and smell the roses, and beating the Dons is pretty friggin' nice. So
yeah,
just a couple of things that were great from this game. I think Chincotta coming back did an absolute job on Merritt. Like, Merritt did not make much of an impact. I think Blake Acres is still a fucking anomaly. How the fuck is he kicking goals like that and playing like he usually is? But it is a welcome sight seeing him kick goals like that. It's beautiful. And, honestly, I mean, I hate celebrating before you've done it as much as the next person whilst it's happening. But in hindsight, is there anything more fucking beautiful? Is there anything more beautiful than that? That is a fucking picture. That is an absolute picture.
That is a picture.
I loved seeing that on the big screen.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't a massive fan of it. It was all right. I mean, like, when they're excited and they're playing with a smile on their face, that's when they're playing their best footy. Like, that's great.
And I mean, I think that's just
know.
Zach Williams in general. He's
true.
No
when
one
he's
loves
playing at
getting
his
goals.
best, he's expressing himself. That's true.
But yeah, I think one last thing. You were talking about the in-game entertainment before. Like, I work at the G. Of all the fucking home games, I think Carlton has the worst fucking entertainment of any club.
Really?
And it makes me fucking sad, honestly. The Carlton entertainment fucking sucks. Another thing, whilst we're on this, what is up with the fucking ham when we score a goal? We've had it for fucking 10 years. What is with the ham sponsorship? It pisses me off. I remember going to games as a kid and seeing the fucking ham when we kick a goal, and I don't get it. I don't. How does the fucking Barclay Ham have so much money that they can lock down a sponsorship with the Blues for 10 fucking years?
I don't know, man. Some of the, it's.
I don't think Carlton has ever had good entertainment. Does This might be a really weird deep cut, but does anyone remember Blue Betty from like 5-7 years ago? We
You
had
mean the
like a fucking
hovercraft?
hovercraft.
Yeah.
What was up with that?
Do you
How?
do you know what happened?
What happened?
The thing was found upside down in the Yarra River.
Fucking way. There's no way.
I'm telling you. Yeah.
Well, a picture speaks 1,000 words. Doesn't that
Yeah.
say so much for the Blues from 7 years ago?
Mate, maybe that's the missing piece. Bring back
It's the
the
missing piece.
hovercraft.
Bring back the hovercraft. We need the
Wow.
hovercraft back.
I
Mate. Premiership parade. Cripper carrying the cup on the back of Blue Betty down
Actually,
down
brought
Lygon
back-
Street.
They actually brought back the hovercraft. Do you remember when?
When?
Round 2, 2021, when we lost to Collingwood. Pommy retired from Blue Abroad that night.
I fucking believe you. Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, Tolls, it's been a pleasure, my friend.
It has. Well,
go Blues.
Go Blues.
See if we can watch some Carlton media. Oh, yeah, we can. What do we got? Oh, we can watch VFL highlights. Oh, mate, we got lots to get through here. We can watch a little bit of what George Hewitt had to say. Let's have a look.
La Trobe University, the place where knowledge finds its purpose. In health, science, and technology, the impact is real.
George, an 8-point win against Essendon, mate. They're always sweet.
Yeah, it was. It was a good game to be a part of. We probably tightened up a bit the second half again, something to work on. But yeah, it was a great crowd, great atmosphere, and both teams brought pretty good effort tonight. We were good enough to get the win.
What worked so well in the first half, and then also what tightened up in the second half?
I don't know. We're pretty efficient going inside 50, and then probably in the second half, as the game wore on, they probably tightened up, and we probably weren't as composed going inside. We got beaten a bit in contests, but yeah, good thing to work on next week.
Having said all that, it must always be nice to get a win over a team that obviously fans love beating as well.
Yeah, no, it was. They've been pretty good this year, Essendon, so it was good to beat a good side. So yeah, now we move on to next week, so it should be good.
Was the rivalry mentioned during the week at all from Bossy and the coaches?
No, we just more focused on ourselves. Obviously, try to minimise their strengths with their switch and going through the corridor. But I thought we played pretty well.
Who do you want to give a shout out to from tonight, mate?
I won't be a big skull. I thought, first game he took some big clunks. He looks, mature enough already. So I hope he's got a big future.
And yourself, mate, obviously great news during the week, and just capped it off with the contract re-signing. How excited are you to be staying around for another 2 years?
Yeah, I'm very stoked. Myself and my family are so happy at Carlton. So yeah, couldn't be happier right now.
Probably career best form for you, mate. What's working so well for you this season?
I don't know, just try and train hard. I think that's it, I guess. Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Yeah, that's right.
You mentioned focus on next week. When do you start looking towards West Coast?
I'll probably enjoy it tonight. Then, Tuesday I'll probably be at the club and get straight onto it, so it'll be good.
Well done, George.
Thanks.
I just thought of something. I'm going to call you lot out and myself. Not one time in this 3-hour session did we give George Hewitt his flowers for his performance tonight. Not one time. Not one person. Disgraceful. We should be ashamed of ourselves. He was excellent. Too busy complaining. That's what we're doing. Way too busy complaining. He was fantastic tonight. What else can we watch? We can't watch the presser. I'm sorry. We can't. We can't watch the presser. Mate, we are not 15th. We were 15th. What are we now? Let's have a look. Oh, it looks so much better. Okay. This is what we are. We are 11th. And we will stay at 11th for the remainder of the round, no matter what. Oh, no, not true. The D's could overtake us tomorrow. Fair. Okay. Nah, not watching the presser because we get copyrighted every time we try to. What's going on, Joe? The Bomber Man. Hey, your Bombers were pretty good tonight. Is it a predictor? Like low-key a predictor? Because I'll do it. I'll absolutely do it. Okay. I mean, we can do a ladder predictor. It's 1:48 a.m. I'm not really tired, to be fair. There's got to be some other videos that we can watch, though, no? Nothing that was on TV, unfortunately. Yeah, not going to work. Okay, the VFL highlights. We'll do that. All Carlton highlights versus Essendon. Let's do that. Did I take a Sudafed? No.
Bombers, I should say, they're the ones that are making the most of their forward entries. Ball taken out of the middle, forced forward by Young. Another clearance going Carlton's way, and the mark is eventually paid for Francis Evans. He's played 38 games at the top level since 2020. It's a driving ball, and it just made it. It went all the way. It's going to go straight to Flynn Young.
Oof.
8 games for Werribee this year before being picked up by the Blues, taking the ground Lemmy. Got the handball out and then bulldozed. Was it Camporelli? Yet to get his look out the top level. He's only kicked 1 goal in the VFL. Now he's got 2. And Carlton takes a lead here at Windsor Hill.
Towards half back. They'll go back inside 50 here though. Will the Blues? Ben Campriali up towards Lemmy, who outpointed Aquay. Shooting for goal number 46 in his VFL career, all with the Blues. And he snuck it through. Worked something here, the Blues. Aquay back there was good. Got the handball across. Told his teammate down the river. Stint with the Bombers at AFL list. It's been the mid-season draft recently. Here's Moya.
Oh, well done.
Towards the pocket. Lemmy on the leads. Martin direction inside forward 50 for the Bombers. Good take, Harry O'Farrell. Campriali, Hayes with a clever step in field. Works it inside 50 towards the hotspot. Moyer's in there for the Blues. Aquay dropped the mark. Stealing in his Lemmy. Got it across. Opportunity might present itself. Lucas Campriali. Flynn Young for a second crack at it. Had Binns towards the goal square. Didn't need him. First goal as a Blue for Flynn Young.
Comes off hands. Is it going to stay in play? Did momentarily. Went past Paris. Vicentini got involved to Unwin. Bouncing off an opponent. Held up by Nelson eventually. Turnover. Nelson gets it back for Carlton. He's going in toward an empty 50, but the mark is taken by Lemmy, who plays on and kicks the goal. And the Blues are back in front.
Suter will keep it in. Looking towards the pocket. Comes back there for the Blues. They will win out.
Here's Yakovone on debut. Late left foot ball. It's going to be reeled in by O'Farrell.
From traffic, his clearing ball straight to Cooper Vickery, who sends Carlton back into attack, looking for Young. Could spoil Blackiston. Bombers really under threat here. A free kick. Knows how to thread the needle. Can he do it with a right-footed ball here? He can!
looking both ways here. Ball held up for a fair while, and that opens up the door for Jordan Boyd to kill it. Had good vision to pick out O'Neill. Drives a longer one inside 50. O'Farrell staying down. But Archer May has quite the boot on him. Decides not to shoot. Late pressure coming from Lemmy. That might have been enough to force a turnover. Lemmy has been very good today.
Able to take it with him smart. Jakavone caught from behind. Wrapped up by Boyd. And he will get the decision, Jordan Boyd.
Ball sent forward by Lucas Camporelli. Falls out the back to Lemmy. Got boot to ball quickly. Moya running back, takes the mark. Leaders exchanged hands a couple of times in this second half. This to give it back to Carlton. Left foot's on its way. Moya kicks it.
Couple of one-on-ones there. Lemmy there for the Blues. Brought it to ground, got boot to ball. Blackiston back there for the Bombers. Intercepted. Monaghan! Goals! Rob Monaghan!
Ekwe getting the fist on it. Jakavone trying to dance around the danger and play on the call here. Hogg, right foot snap. Another goal for Carlton.
There's plenty of targets in there. They might not be needed. Ramshaw with a strong tackle. Ball towards forward inside 50. Ekwe playing in front, did well. Was run down and it's gone. Many a forward in this game from beyond 50. Does look long. Oh, he's got it all the way! Remarkable from Francis Evans. So too then from Smart for Haitley. Will get the Bombers inside 50. It's a high ball who reads it best. Farrell in front. Read it superbly.
Amazing. Let's just call the Jets on Lemmy and understand that he played on Dom Ekwe. So let's just chill out. The VFL highlights are better than the AFL highlights. I'm going to bring you Macca's. Ooh, nah. Appreciate it, though. I'm going to go to bed, though. It's time. Biffa, appreciate that. I think that's us. 3 hours. Yeah, Damien, good win, but let's chill. I agree. I don't think anyone was over the top excited with that. I think, if anything, we need to chill out. Or are you saying chill out because we won? I don't know, man. A win is a win. Jeff, spot on. Just take it. Just take it. You never know when the next dark Carlton navy blue hole is going to be with us. You just never know. So that's the fan cams. Thanks for being here. Who knows what this will mean? All we know is that we beat the Bombers on Sunday, the 8th of June. That's all we know. That's all that matters. Nothing more, nothing less. We will move on. Tomorrow is a big day. Review will be out in the morning. Ratings will be out at 5 p.m. live. Blue Abroad show, 7 p.m. live. And then I think Joe is going to be filming something for the Almost Blues Brothers show this week on his own. And that'll come out at like 8:30 p.m. So strap yourselves in. Tomorrow's a big day. I'm fascinated to see what these ratings look like. So anyway, Bugs, exactly. We beat the Bombers, mate. Who would have thought a rivalry game? Have a good night, everyone. Stay safe. Go Blues.